Hey there, you're listening to You Still Going On About That with Rob Israel and Joseph K. You can find us anywhere you could download podcasts. You could also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at YSGOAT. Thanks for listening. I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still going on about?
That.
All right, Joseph. It's already... It's almost the end of March already. What the fuck?
Yeah. This the year's gone by quickly.
This year's been interesting for me. I'm not gonna talk about it now.
Right.
Joined a cult. It's only meet it never really meets. They don't ask for much. It's like a very it's like, how do I say this? Like a casual cult.
Casual
Like a
cult
casual
like.
cult, like, hey, what are you doing later? Well, if you guys aren't busy,
Yeah.
stop by. You know,
I
if you
could go
wanna,
for
like a potluck, maybe. There's no pressure. It's not even like it's like it's like barely a cult. Like it's like the
yeah.
opposite of what a cult's supposed to be.
I could go for a casual cult, I think.
Yeah.
Like if I had a low expectations of
I think I'm
me.
gonna add that. I'm gonna write that down. I want to join a cult, but like a casual one that only meets like once a month and like doesn't really ask much from you.
Yeah. I guess that'd be like the Columbia House Record Club back in the day. Like
I wouldn't say that as a cult, it's more just a scam.
I don't know,
But I
man.
guess cults are scams too. I know it
Yeah.
depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
I'm just writing that down.
I love
I'm a big time comedian now, so anytime I think of bits, I have to type it
Oh
in.
yeah.
It's very
Always be
important.
always be closing. That's what
Always
they
be,
say.
yeah, yep. When they I think I have my closing line. I was thinking about this. Um, like if I get a joke that like it gets a big laugh in the end, I'll say, just like my mom always said, best to end high than the low. Wait. I think I had it like I had it worded like my mom always says. It's like my mom always says, it's best to end high than low.
Yeah,
Have a good
that's
night,
good
guys.
advice. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom, and then I would say my mom never said that,
Wow.
but that's not
Yeah.
my mom quote. Oh my God, wait, were we recording?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We're deep into it.
Oh my God. It's like an hour into it already. It's been like weird pauses and like breaks.
Well, that's 2025.
That's the 2025 way.
It's the vibe.
It's the
All
vibe of
right.
2025. Just fuck it. Fuck it. Nothing
Well,
matters anymore. Nothing matters. There's portals opening up.
oh Jesus.
There's idiots out there who think portals are I can't even tell what's real anymore. There's people who think like remember wild boars, but those were actually real. Like there would be people who would make an argument about like why we can't have strong gun laws, and they would say stuff like, "Well, what am
Oh yeah.
I gonna do when wild boars come for me?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But then I saw videos and like,
Oh yeah. Wild boars are a real thing. I mean, not like in areas that have libraries and stuff, but like in other places. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like I
Well,
don't
no,
think
I saw videos of it. This was years ago before like the whole AI thing. AI was not good enough to do any kind of like
right.
video,
Yeah.
but it'd be like herds of wild boars and like you could get fucking killed.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
can
could
see that.
see I just thought that was like a ridiculous excuse. Like people would be like, it would be like after a school shooting and like there'd be like this guy who's like, "You tell me I can't defend my family from a herd of wild boars?" And I'd be like, "What?" But
Yeah.
then I saw it and I'm like, I guess in some areas of the country that could be a concern.
I've never had a problem with people saying they needed firearms to do all sorts of things. Um, it's just that they kind of lost me when it was like I don't know, like assault rifles or machine. I know that is like an odd term, but like machine guns. I mean, there should be some regulations regarding that shit. A lot of that's just sort of common sense.
Man, all right, what are we talking about this week, Joseph?
All right. We have. We got a short list, but there's like a lot of nuance to it. We're talking about some pop culture stuff. We're talking. You saw Kraven, the movie Kraven.
Yeah.
Uh, we both saw The Electric State.
Did you
Um,
finish it?
I will say I did not look. It was on while I was in the
We can get
room.
into it when we talk about it.
Yes. We saw the new Daredevil. We saw last week's Severance, and I believe this week's the season finale is on right now as we're speaking. Um, we
I gotta go.
yeah, right, right. Ding. So you do a little elevator noise.
Dude,
Um,
it's just the fucking Patricia Arquette episode, but
oh my
extended.
God.
That'd be the finale. I'd be like, you know what? I'm okay. I don't think I ever need to Severance again.
This is well the episode that's airing probably right now is 72 minutes long. I'll bet you it's really good. And then we're going to talk about some real life stuff. We're going to talk about Tesla stock tanking. It's down like 50% since election days. It's really, really bad. Talking about the GOP shilling for Tesla or Tesla, which is Tesla's sister company. The economy cratering, and then we've seen like some GOP and some Democratic town halls. And the look, the GOP town halls are just a shit show, but some of the Democratic town halls have gotten a little uh, heated as well. And then we're going to finish up by talking about Tim Walz, he's my pick for to run next currently.
I just
You know,
think he's, it's like and it's like what you were talking about, and we'll get into it more later, but you were saying like we need a guy who's going to run now.
yeah,
And I disagree with that. Because I just don't think that the Democrats, the media doesn't treat the Democrats the way they treat the Republicans. Donald Trump was treated the way he was treated because he's a celebrity and because he's going to do the bidding of big business. So of course they're going to elevate him so people be stupid enough to vote for someone like that. While Tim Walz actually stands for something and something, that corporations probably would not like. So I'm not even saying like just anyone. I just feel like a Dem cannot do that. A Dem cannot. They don't get that. Like it's always funny when the Republicans always crying about like liberal media. It's like a little
right.
shit, lie. It's a fucking lie. There's
Oh,
no
it's a
such
straight
thing.
up lie.
There's
Yeah.
no fucking thing, and especially now, there's no such thing as fucking liberal media. It never fucking existed. Liberal media. Oh, the liberal media that fucking helped Bush lie us into the Iraq war, getting millions of people fucking killed.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. The liberal media that gave Trump endless airtime in 2016. Fuck that. Bullshit. No liberal. There's no such thing. No fucking. What about Rachel Maddow? Okay, that's one fucking host on like a channel.
That's like saying though that like Fox was liberal because they had Sean Combs or whatever the Alan
Yeah,
Combs or
oh, I
whoever
know.
the
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Hannity and Combs. His
yeah,
name wasn't Sean Combs. It
it
was
was
like,
Alan or
yeah,
whatever.
Alan Combs, I think, something like that. And that guy, the joke about that guy though was he was like a dweeby little nerd,
Yeah.
and Sean Hannity had like a big chin, looked like he'd be in a like he played football once or something, and
Yeah.
and it was like I don't know
Al
how you
Franken wrote a
say to
book.
be a what?
Al Franken wrote a
Yeah,
book where he
I
talked
read
about
that
that.
one,
Yeah.
the Lying
Uh
Liars or whatever, and he has like a whole chapter on Hannity and Combs,
yeah,
and then eventually, well, Combs, that guy's dead.
he is, yeah.
Died. I mean, he meant well, but he knew he was there to be like he was a legit
Oh yeah.
Democrat, but he
He
was
was,
there
no.
to be a whipping boy for.
He
He was
was. He
there to
was
lose.
yeah. He was like the Washington Generals
Yes,
uh playing the
yes,
Harlem Globetrotters.
it was. That's exactly yes,
And
100%.
I'm sure he got a decent paycheck and good for him. And I believe he uh, put up a good fight, but he knew he was there to, yeah, to let Hannity win. Whatever. I mean, that's fine. I don't begrudge him that.
I mean,
Um,
again, it's more entertainment than anything for
yeah,
morons. So,
yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, so I think but what Tim Walz can do is just use his clout as a very popular governor and as a popular candidate
Yeah.
He said it that he was muzzled during the
Yeah.
fucking campaign, that he was told not to go on podcasts. He
Yeah.
was invited to podcasts, they didn't let him go.
Yeah. He got screwed over by Harris's handlers or whoever was running that campaign. Um, I would say I believe, and I agree with you, like in theory about the reasons why a Democrat can't start running
They
right
just can't
now.
announce it. They can't announce it because once you announce it, there's funding involved,
I think they should, though.
and the
Honestly, I
media.
do.
No, I think if Walz just haunts Trump, man, if he appears on podcasts, if he does these things, he builds his name up, and then like within a year, they start saying, "Hey, you got to run for president." He might say, "We're considering it." Not now, next year, right
Yeah.
before the midterms, during the midterms, and then after the midterms is over, he announces he's running.
Well, there is a good argument in that sense because if if any Democrat announces before the midterms, then the Republicans will tie whoever is running in the midterms to that person.
Yeah, yeah.
And that could present, I think,
And also, Trump ran always so he could steal money from people because
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
he
Well,
used
and
his
so he could
camp.
avoid criminal cases, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, like, oh, I'm a candidate for president. Like he is the first. They said he's the first person ever, supposedly, the first president ever to announce his run for a second term after literally being inaugurated back in 2017.
Yeah.
He literally started already campaigning for season two of Trump.
Yeah.
And people were like, I guess that's not a normal thing.
Right.
I mean, I think people just assume a president would just run again,
I think, yeah, I
but
think
he
that,
was using it because he was making money.
yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, we'll talk about Tim Walz at the end. But first, you saw, now I have not seen this yet. You saw Kraven, um, uh, which is that's a weird hero's name because Kraven with a C means like cowardly. Uh, but his he's Kraven with a K. And
He's
you
craving
like
for that honey,
Kraven. He's Kraven.
that honey nut Cheerios, or I don't know,
He's
honey
craving
smacks.
for a spot in the DC reboot. So what did you think of Craven? I haven't seen it
All right,
yet.
so I started watching it like I guess it came out on Netflix like Thursday last Thursday. It was on the 13th, and I was like, I put it on, and I just found it. I didn't like it in the beginning.
Right.
Like, I found it boring. Um, and like in the lion, like the CGI in the lion was horrible. Like he basically gets like mauled by a lion, and then like this woman named Calypso, like, but she's a kid and gives him this like, oh, it's so stupid. I don't even explain it. He gets his powers. Well, the dad's like a hunter, and he's played
Okay.
by what's his face? Fuck, Gladiator, first Gladiator movie. What's his name? I
Oh,
can't.
the yeah, wow.
Uh,
He was in a Marvel movie recently too.
he was Zeus in Thor. He was
Yeah.
really silly in that.
Yeah, he was good. I
Oh,
liked that movie.
yeah, what's his fucking name? Russell
Jeez.
Crowe. I
Yeah.
like Russell Crowe because
He's
he's just
fine.
like, fuck it, I'm gonna just be chunky.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like 60. I don't give a fuck.
Right. I thought he was great as Zeus in
You,
the
I hated that.
I
He
thought
had
it was
like this
good.
stupid, like I don't even know if it was like Greek or Italian accent.
It
He
was
had like the
silly. I
fucking
mean,
skirt. I don't know. It was too stupid. That movie sucked. Like it really did. Like there's some good parts, but it was like
I saw it in the theater
I did too.
and we went to, I don't know if you remember, but we went to a like a movie dinner theater down in like South Lake or something. And I had some beers. We got a pizza. It was a real fun night. I think that probably made me really enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
It was a good time. So, but
It
yeah, it
was
did.
fine. I found it entertaining, but like I said, I could see why people didn't like it.
Yes, I
It was
could
a
too.
little too stupid. Korg was annoying.
Yeah.
Korg was like there's some really good parts, but then there's like I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you
I love
noticed
the
this.
Eternity scene in the end. I thought that was amazing. Like Eternity is just sitting there, like it's like all quiet. It's in this like weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
That was like a really well done scene. There's good parts in the movie. It's just like
right.
I don't know. It's just
Some parts were a little far-fetched. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, but a woman picked up the hammer, which was
that's
just
that's just ridiculous.
bridge too far.
I made
A
like
rainbow bridge too
46.
far.
I've I've made 46 YouTube videos being angry about it.
Yeah,
Sold
right.
a bunch of chud buckets thanks to that. Yeah, all my content for like 4 years was just like, okay,
That's right.
pick
Being
up
mad
my
at Natalie Portman.
yeah. You telling me Natalie Portman can lift up the mighty Miorin?
All right.
That's
Well,
inconceivable.
okay, so Kraven, you did not like it at first. You said the second half was
The
got it
second
picked
half
up.
picks up, and the second half was actually pretty decent, and it ends well. Like I said, first like 20 minutes was like snooze town, and
Yeah,
then it kind of starts to pick up a bit. Again, it's just like kind of silly. You could tell they like did a lot of. This movie was like again another one of these movies where they fucking reshot scenes and like did a lot of ADR,
yeah,
a lot of like phone call conversations to like
right.
explain instead of showing. That's how you know. Okay, so a good example of like reshoots is where a movie kind of fucked up and didn't like explaining instead of showing. That's where
Yeah,
Captain America failed miserably.
you got to show,
Going into
not
all
tell.
these reshoots and everything, where it's just, yeah, it's all just talking, all exposition because they didn't shoot the fucking scenes.
Right.
Like I said, that movie would have been awesome. They showed fucking what's his face if it began in the 50s
Yeah,
with the original Captain America. That movie just wasn't epic. Could have been epic. A Captain America movie should be epic.
yeah.
First
Like,
one, despite what people think, it was epic. It is like
oh yeah, I
really
thought so.
great scenes. Um,
A big scope,
yeah,
historical.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
big
pretty.
scope. Yeah, the second movie was massive, and the
Mhm.
third movie was insanely big. But that was like sneakily
Was that
under.
Civil War was the
Yeah,
third
it
one?
had
Yeah,
Iron
right.
Man, introduced Spider-Man, Black
Right.
Panther. I mean, it was more than anything a
It was
fucking Avengers.
Avengers. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Avengers 2.5. I mean, it was like,
Right.
I mean, it was great, but again, epic. And this one had the ability to be epic.
Right.
It was all there. They fucked up on the leader. They too much showing, not too much talking, not showing. It sucks. Like it could have been an epic movie. Like
Yeah.
people, I don't know, whatever. But that's like you could tell with Craven, there's like lots of scenes like, yeah, just shoot the scene where like some you're talking on the phone, and then we'll shoot another scene,
Yeah.
the other person talking on the phone, and we'll explain the plot through that. And I'm like,
Right.
I don't know, it just picks up a bit, and I enjoyed the last half hour of the movie. It is not the I will say it is the best. I feel like Venom is in its own category
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like they made three movies, so clearly it was successful for them. And
Sure.
regardless of what you think, it was all right. I can never stand Venom's voice. I always found it like stupid.
Yeah. I agree.
I Venom. It's like I
Yeah.
don't. I was like, is it supposed to be funny? I don't like.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. It's like, yeah, it shouldn't have
Well, like
been comical. I mean, it should have been like, I don't know. I mean, like it is kind of like,
Venom is supposed to start out as a bad guy.
right.
If they made a movie where Venom was a bad guy and he fought Spider-Man, and then in the end of the movie, something happens and they team up to fight someone, and then in the end of the movie, Spider-Man will say something like, "You know, Venom, you're not a bad guy,"
Right.
and then Venom could be like, "But I still want to eat your brains," and then
Right.
and Spider-Man would be like, "Well, don't do that."
Yeah. And then like Venom
I just
goes
wrote a really good
and
movie. I'm like the voice of Spider-Man. Spider-Man would say that. He'd be like, "Don't you do that. You're not eating my brain today, Venom." This is good, right? Like I should
yeah.
send this to Marvel. I feel like I captured the youth of Spider-Man by talking like an old Jewish man at a deli.
Yeah.
He's just like that's how Spider-Man talks, right? He's like
That would be like a Spider-Man 2070 or something.
Spider Mensch.
Spider-Man. That'd be funny.
And I'll get what's his face to play him. The inconceivable guy. What's his name? The guy
Oh
from
yeah, the guy from My Dinner with Andre.
yeah, what's his,
I'm not gonna remember his name.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna get it. Hold on.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Um,
I'm
yeah,
gonna yeah, what's his name? That guy's awesome. I love him. Wallace Shawn.
yeah.
I think I should like tweet that. I'd be like, I'm gonna make a Spider-Man. It's a 80-year-old Spider-Man played by Wallace Shawn.
Is Wallace Shawn still alive?
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah, that guy's awesome. He is 81. They
Okay,
say
yeah, I was gonna say he's up there. It's
I didn't know if he was that old, but he's been around a while. He
yeah.
was Cosby's neighbor.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you think when the neighbor found out Cosby was a huge rapist that he put the house up for sale, or was he like, oh,
I think it probably just explained a lot of shit that had happened on
like that's why I
nextdoor.com.
woke up with my pants off half the time I went over the Huxtable's house.
Right. Those pudding pops tasted medicinal. Those
I
pudding
wonder why I was always waking up in the yard.
with chocolate all around my mouth and a popsicle stick, like elsewhere. Like a popsicle.
Pooped out a piece of popsicle stick. What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's the last
right.
time I go to the Huxtable's house.
Yeah. Those pudding pops though were
They were
dynamite. Those were
good.
really good.
And then
Yeah.
one day they were just like gone,
Yep.
and they
Yeah.
never returned.
I get those things on TikTok where it's like lost snacks from the 80s or whatever.
Yeah,
Half the time the snacks are still being made. Like I don't know what they're talking about.
I gotta
But
look up if Jello pudding pops are made because let me tell you, if there's even a brand that is making something close to that,
yeah, those were elite snacks.
they were
Um
good. They tasted like there was something about them. There was like a little bit of like a
well I think it
pudding
was
or
like
Jello texture to
yeah.
it.
Um I don't know. I can't imagine why they would stop making them. They had to have been
It
popular,
said
right? I
pudding
mean,
pops had been discontinued due to not enough consumers purchasing them.
Jello stopped making their pudding. Well, this says they
That's
last until 2000.
2004.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Well, anyway. Huh. Yeah, I remember coming home from school and enjoying a nice pudding pop and maybe a kudos, washing it down with the clearly Canadian. Those are the days. Those are the
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, one day they were always in the
yeah.
freezer at the supermarket, and then one day they were gone. And
Yep.
this is before all the Cosby allegations. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, that
like
they
good
were
10,
sig
15 years before the,
significantly before. Yeah.
yeah. And
Um,
I guess if the Pudding Pop survived, that probably would have killed it.
well, I don't know. I mean,
We have a new pitchman for Jello Pudding Pops. His name is Jared Fogle.
yeah, right. I mean, I was gonna say there's still subways.
Yeah, no, they said
Right.
Subway never fully recovered from.
Yeah, I think that had look, the Jared Fogle certainly did not help Subway, but I think Subway was like in trouble before then.
They were
Like,
bought out by a fucking private equity. They jacked up their
yeah,
prices. Their food
jacked
is
up the
not good as other
prices,
places. It's
lowered the quality.
yep.
You can go like look, Subway is like a little cheaper than a Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's is kind of expensive, but Jersey Mike's is like a quality like that's you get
I don't
a
know. I think
really
if you go to Subway, I think they're almost like the same price. I've seen like
are
TikTokers like
they?
say like I got this and then I got this here, and I'm like, and Subway was like yeah, like you said, it was like $1 less or something. And
Yeah.
like
And the quality leap between that and Jersey
yeah,
Mike's
no, it's
are
true. And that's why I always think it's funny when people like shit on Five Guys because it's like
right.
I'm
Like
not gonna do the joke. I was gonna say like I go to like fucking Wendy's or something. You go to
I haven't seen people shit on Five Guys since that one episode of Oz. So it's just,
no like Wendy's isn't that much cheaper.
no, no.
You
I
get
mean, you
like one
get
of their burgers that has like bacon or something on it or frying a drink. Like it's like Five Guys is gonna be like a little more, but again, it's like what you just said.
yeah
You're getting so much the
a
quality is so much
disproportionate
higher.
leap in quality.
The
Yeah,
fries are like gonna be hot and fresh when you get them. They make them as ordered. They're not just you're not playing the game of like are they going to be? Am I going to get
Right.
surprised?
Are you just dipping them back in the oil, like for a
Ew.
second?
No,
Right?
they don't
It's
do
just
that. They just
yeah, oh yeah, they do.
they do.
Yeah, a lot of them like will pre-boil them in oil and then set them aside. And so then when customer comes in, they just dip them back in the oil real quick to like freshen them up to
Mm,
send them right out. Yeah, call the old
gross.
double dip.
The old,
Anyway,
what the fuck
uh
are we talking about?
Craven.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
craving them fries.
there's like a
Craven
he's craving them fries, but not when they're double dipped in that, like you just said.
uh
Uh,
yeah,
there's a
I'll
part
check
with
out
like
Craven.
okay, so they set up this part, and it's like towards the end of the movie, and I don't know if this was added or not. He gets like stung by something or shot with something. I don't know. The main
Uh-huh.
villain, he turns into a rhino in the end. It makes no sense.
Oh, yeah,
Like
I've seen that
they have
clip.
the
Yeah.
rhino villain, but that's not the rhino. The rhino in the comic is just some big thug who get finds like a rhino costume. It gets fused to him. This is not the. I mean, it was kind of cool, but it's not the. It doesn't even matter. They don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck they're doing. They're
Right.
like, I'm surprised they didn't just have him fight a rhino and say,
The actual rhino. Yeah, that actually probably would have been pretty cool. But
like, uh, so like, there's a scene where it's like you find out he has like a phobia to spiders,
yeah.
and it goes back to his like mom. So it's like, what are you doing? You're setting up this thing that's why he hates
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, but
It's
they're
dumb.
never gonna meet. They're never gonna fight because this is some
They
bull.
live in two separate worlds.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
in the jungle. He's in the city.
Yeah. Never the
Being a
twain
little
shall meet.
being a spider mensch
Yeah. It's just
at the Carnegie Deli.
the Sony was constantly trying to find ways to like link their bullshit to the Spider-Verse,
They
in
were
some way.
they were all they were doing was fucking devaluing the MCU brand.
Yeah.
They were, and I'm glad that unfortunately, if Kraven came out in February instead of Madam Web, Kraven would have done better.
Oh yeah,
By
I
the
think so.
time it got to November, you had Madam Web, you had Venom 3 already, and Venom 3 was a movie that people actually were interested in seeing because there are people who actually like those movies, believe it or not.
Right.
Um, and then Craven was just like the bastard child in the end. But if Craven came out in February instead of Madam Web, I think Craven would have done a lot better. I think people would have enjoyed it more. I mean, he's good in it. The guy who plays him, like everybody does a decent job in the movie. It's like it's just kind of pointless
Yeah.
because it's it was already like doomed. They like
Well, that's another
every
thing.
the
I think the
Sony
people
movies
that
were like over with.
I think the people that signed up for the job probably signed up before any of this became super obvious. You know what I mean? Like,
Like there's
uh,
some good actors in it, like Fred Heschinger, who actually I guess was in the new Gladiator movie, which is kind of funny. He's his
yeah.
brother, and they set him up. He's the chameleon, and they show
Oh
him
yeah,
that he's
yeah.
the chameleon. It's kind of funny though, because the actor's so much shorter than Aaron Taylor Johnson, and there's a scene in the end where, so they were setting up a sequel, which actually sounded kind of cool because you find out from the Rhino, the guy who becomes the Rhino, that he was trying to get strong and he met this doctor and his name's like Miles or whatever. And in the comics, that's the Jackal. He's a character called the Jackal, and he's also a scientist. Turns into like this kind of green goblin looking character.
Right.
He's not a goblin, he's a jackal. So stupid.
God.
So they were setting that up. So that guy was telling the guy who is the chameleon is his brother, and the guy is telling the main villain has him captured, and he's telling him like where he got the powers from or
Yeah.
whatever. And I guess because he found out who he was, the movie takes place after the movie's all said and done. Takes place a year later. Craven meets up with his brother. He's disappointed to find out that like his brother got fully into the crime world. He thought like because he was like an entertainer, a little bit soft. I don't know if they were implying that he was a friend of Dorothy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a
That's an
old timey
archaic
way of
term.
calling
Yeah.
someone. That's an old timey way of calling someone gay. Old friend of
Yes.
Dorothy. That's
Yep.
like
Yeah. That used to be that, and I think Republican senator were the only really coded
yeah,
terms
yeah.
for
Republican senator in the bathroom. bathroom
Right.
Republican,
Wide stance is another one.
Republican wide stance, and
Yeah.
Republican senators. Never met the Dorothy. And, oh, so you're a Republican senator, huh?
Right. Have you met my friend, the Republican senator? Oh, I see. I
Oh, interviewing
see.
him. Uh, no, I think they were kind of implying that. I don't know, but he become you find out basically he went to this guy to give him the powers to be a chameleon. And it's kind of cool. He has like the mask in the end. It looks like the chameleon. And it's so weird though, because he turns into his brother, but like it's just the guy's head on his like little body. Like this guy's like, I
Yeah.
don't think this guy's taller than like 5'4". Like he's pretty short, this dude. I've seen him in other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just funny because Aaron Taylor Johnson is like over 6 feet. He's
Yeah.
pretty big dude, actually. I always found it funny that he was in Kick Ass. I thought they did a good job of making him look smaller in that because he was supposed to be kind of a
Oh,
jerk.
that's fine. Yeah.
But he's actually like this tall, jacked dude. And in this movie, he's fucking, I don't know,
Yeah.
yoked, I guess is the word. I don't know. But it reminded me of the joke scene in Deadpool when he sees the short Wolverine, the comic accurate Wolverine, and it was Hugh Jackman's head on the
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of funny.
That's
But
fine.
so it made it kind of stupid. I'm like, okay, so you have the power to transform, but you're fucking short. So
Right.
what? You're gonna show up as like you're gonna show up as this person, and you're like 5, 6 inches shorter than it.
Yeah. That is funny. Yeah.
It was really funny. I was like watching. I'm like, that's not gonna work.
Nah.
They'd be like, wait, who are you? Oh, I'm supposed to be this guy. First of all, why would he say that? I'm supposed to be this.
Right. Right.
I would just give away the. I mean, his height would give away the game, but
Yeah.
because he was able to change his face, but you think he would have to do something to just morph his whole
Yeah.
body.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah. Wow.
And again, here's the fucking lame thing about all this. So there's all these characters that get name dropped in this movie. The Jackal, the Foreigner's another villain.
Hmm.
The Rhino, Chameleon, Calypso. There, I think they mentioned like two other characters, and because of that, Marvel can't use any of those fucking characters in any of the movies.
Yeah. They probably did that intentionally. But
Oh yeah, and they were trying to like build a universe. So like, it's like a little bit of both, you know. It's like, oh, we have all these characters that are gonna show up in the sequel. It's gonna be a
yeah.
pretty intense movie. In this movie, Kraven fights a spider. A man?
Nah.
Yeah, a spider.
A man on a spider. A man on a giant spider. Just rides him
He fights a spider.
like a spider horse.
I could see them trying to do that. I don't
Yeah.
know. It doesn't matter. So it's like it was okay. It wasn't the worst thing. It was definitely out of okay. I'll say Adam, Madam Web, and Morbius, because I'm not going to count the Venom movies. I feel like they're on their own.
Right.
This one is the best one, and that's not
Yeah.
saying much, but it is. It is the best one. But man, some of the CGI in the movie was fucking
Yeah.
shit.
That sucks.
Yeah, and again, I think the biggest problem with this movie too is like he has this code. Like, yeah, he kills people. He's like Craven is just a straight up villain in the comics.
Right.
He's literally like, you hire Craven to do big game hunt to hunt
Yeah.
spider. I have killed all animals around the world. I will
That's
take
I
down this
always
spider. That's
I
it.
remember this character from when I was a kid. I didn't know much about him, but like
And never,
if
he
I
was never my
remember,
favorite character, but
he was like a villain who was essentially like a poacher or something. If I
yeah,
That's
he's a
how I
hunter,
remember it.
and
Yeah.
I think like I don't know who hires him because it's like early in the run. I think his like
He's the guy who would have like slippers made out of dodo fur or
he did
something,
have a
like
vest made out of real gorilla chest.
yeah.
No, he had a vest that was a lion's mate. And it's funny, in the end of the movie, he actually wears it. And when he wears it, it's like, yeah, it does look kind of stupid on you.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't wear it throughout the movie. Like if he was an actual villain who was in a
Right.
movie, the costume would actually be kind of funny and it would work.
Yes.
But because it doesn't work here. It's like and he doesn't have an accent, which I'm like, okay, that's fine because then the actor has like, remember he was Quicksilver in
Yeah.
Avengers in Ultron. He gets killed though. He had a little bit of an accent in that, and I think people made fun of it.
Mm.
I think
Well,
that I think even what's her face who played Scarlet Witch, the
uh,
hot
yeah, she's really pretty. Olsen. Is it
yes, she's
Elizabeth Olsen?
yeah. I
Yeah.
always thought it was funny. Is she their younger sister or older sister?
No idea. I'm not. I wasn't even really convinced they were
Maybe they
related, but
combined and became her or something.
right.
I think like if they combined, they would just turn into like a monkey or something. I think.
Yeah. No, I like Elizabeth Olsen a lot. She's real pretty.
You remember
And
all
she
those
was in.
creeps that were like they had a clock from the Olsen twins would turn 18?
Yeah, that's
That was
really
weird.
gross.
It's gross too because I was just like, well, one, there's no way to even talk about this
Yeah,
right.
so much of their persona was on being like cute, clearly adolescent girls. Like even when they were making, I remember they made like 200 movies, like of them as young teens.
Yeah.
They were still clearly adolescent. There's like nothing sexy about it, or I mean, like it was just like
These
this is
these young girls don't turn me on at all. I'm not
this is
watching these
like
Olsen twin movies. They do nothing
doing
for me.
right. This is like Punky Brewster fanfic shit. You know, what I mean, like this is anyway. Well, something you said
You
about
remember I mean, she's like more like she might have been a little older than me, Punky Brewster, that actress, but I just remember like having to read that like at the she had to get like a breast reduction.
I
Like
don't remember that.
yeah, there's like a photo of hey, I can talk
There's
about this because these people are all my fucking age. I'm not
Soleil Moon Frye, I think
yeah.
her name
So
was.
she ended up like I don't know. I guess after Punky Brewster, she got a little too
Wow,
yeah. And there's a picture of oh my God, this is funny as shit.
Punky Brewster.
Uh Terminator 2. What was the
Oh,
kid's
okay.
name?
Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong. And I guess after Terminator 2, he was dating her
Wow.
pre-punky
Yeah.
breast reduction. But he probably tells people he's like, yeah, I had the real
My God.
I
Yeah. She's done a ton of work. She does a lot of
He's been on a
uh
lot of shows and stuff.
yeah, she's actually older than you. She's like 48. Uh
That's like a year. That's nothing.
yeah. I
Let
was
me
wondering, was
give her a
Punky
call.
Brewster like a
Let me contact her. Hey, what are you doing?
was that a
Punky.
sequel or was that a side
What? Punky
pro
Brewster?
yeah, was that a side
It was a TV show, and then they made like a doll of her,
I
and
know,
like
but
it's more
was
like a
it
kid show.
introduced like
But it
was
had
it introduced on another show? Was it like a
oh, I don't think so. I don't think she was like a spin-off.
that's what yeah,
Maybe.
like a
But I always liked that the guy who was like her guardian or whatever is the commandant from Police Academy.
oh wow.
And he would be like, Punky,
Yeah. That's funny.
Punky.
Punky Brewster. What a weird show. Anyway, um yeah, I would have thought Punky Brewster had something to do with like uh what was the one with Urkel? Do you remember that one? What was
Family
that show?
Matters.
Family Matters. I would have thought it
The
had something
funniest
to
thing about Family Matters was there was a second daughter. She's like in the first season.
okay.
And then they literally had her like walk up the stairs and she never came down the stairs again.
Oh wow. I think I remember hearing about that. Huh.
Yeah, she walked up the stairs and then never
Right.
came down. Like that was like the joke people made. Like she was hardly used anyway. I remember
Yeah.
watching it. This was the pre-Urkel show.
Okay.
You know, I know we're kind of digressing here, but you're gonna find this more entertaining than the Electric State we're gonna talk about next because that movie was fucking weird and sucked. Um, so Family Matters was a spin-off of Perfect Strangers, the one with Balky.
Oh wow. Okay.
Balky? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The mom was on that show, and I think they even introduced Winslow. Is that his name?
Yeah.
The cop guy. People always made jokes and said that he was playing the same character. Oh yeah, that was it. The in Die Hard when he talks about the kid he killed. That's it. Okay, yeah. Okay. The theory was is that Urkel was the ghost that haunts the
Oh, I do
because he
remember this.
says
Yeah.
he killed a kid in
Right.
Die Hard. So Urkel isn't even real. Urkel is
Right.
the ghost or like his conscience haunting him.
That, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
That's funny, right? Like that's pretty fucking funny, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it actually works probably.
Honestly,
Um,
it doesn't make any sense because he does age. And then I stopped watching it way before, like, I stopped watching that shit way before
yeah.
he became Stefan. So he took on another persona who was cool.
Yeah.
Like I think like we're talking like some split personality shit.
Right.
It wasn't
Right.
him trying to be cool, like
No, this is
I'll be
like,
Stefan. No, like it was like a different guy.
right. This is like the third movie in the Unbreakable series. It's like,
Yes, Stefan. And the joke was is that because he was obsessed with Laura, I think that was the daughter.
yeah.
She liked Stefan,
Hmm.
but then Urkel was with another girl. It's some fucking weird. It got that show got fucking twisted when you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I do.
and the only reason why Stefan even exists is because Jaleel White was like, "Please, can I play a cool character? I will never get work after this. Everyone will just think I'm fucking Urkel."
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But he
like that
went
he
on,
was in the Star Wars show.
I was going to say, he went on to have like a career, you
He did
know?
show up in a lot of things. He had some work, and he was in that recent Star Wars show.
Yeah.
He played Urkel, remember?
Yeah.
He said he goes, "Got any cheese?"
Yeah.
No, but
Like,
okay. So what I love about that show was I'm going back to it was a spin-off from Perfect Strangers, which was also a ridiculous show.
yeah, it was dumb.
Meat Post, I thought for a while was a real country. I hate to break. I know. I'm sorry if anybody isn't aware. It's not. It's yeah.
Yeah.
It's right across the sea from where Latka is from. Whatever.
Yeah. Vaguely Mediterranean. Like,
Yeah, some kind of Eastern European bullshit. Like
yep.
they all dress up like gypsies or something.
Yeah.
Wait, is it bad to say the word gypsy, or is that the actual term?
No, no. Well, I think Roma is the actual term. But I think people still say gypsy, I believe. It's just like people use that term pejoratively when they
I didn't.
say like,
I would say the word "gyp" for years. I didn't
yeah.
realize it that
Well, what
what it meant. I didn't like. I didn't think of it being associated. I was like, "Oh shit!"
yeah, when I was a
And
kid, I
now I double
remember
down.
when I was a kid, we lived in New Jersey and we there was a big Roma community. And I remember saying that. I learned that at school or whatever, like saying that term. And my mom kind of freaking out on me at a grocery store because I used it. And there were, it must have been like Roma people around or something at the time. But I remember like my mom really like laying into me. Uh,
Did one of them come up to you though, the old man, and he had like a dead eye, and he went, "Fina,
yeah. And then I just turned,
Fina." You know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
right?
from Thinner, from
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the Stephen King story. No, no, but
Like if I get any thinner, I'll disappear.
um yeah.
Did you
That
wait?
was,
Did you hear the fucked up the original premise? Okay, John Candy was supposed to be in the movie,
oh, weird. Okay.
and the goal of it was to get him to lose weight,
Oh,
but he died.
yeah. Wow.
I had
There
this
you
fucked up. I have this joke that I tell, um, and I was trying to like make updates every time I do them.
Yeah, yeah.
And the joke is, I'll tell people because I've been doing this open mic thing, and one of my jokes is like, I've lost 65 pounds since this past summer, and the crowd usually be like, yeah, ooh, and I'll say,
Yeah, yeah.
get it back. Like
Right.
I
Yeah,
lost it.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll make a joke and say, according to Hollywood standards, I would say like I went from a fat guy to a different kind of fat guy. Uh, last time I did this joke, I said I went from being Jonah Hill in Moneyball to Jonah Hill writing that letter or that weird letter to his surfer girlfriend not to hang out with the surfer guys.
Yeah.
That got a chuckle. But I was
That's
thinking about doing one where it said, do the joke, say, but by Hollywood standards, I went from being John Candy in like Uncle Buck to being alive.
that's funny.
Is that fucked up?
Yeah, yeah, but it's funny.
No,
That's a
but does
funny.
that make sense? Does that
Yeah.
I went
Right.
from John Candy to Uncle Buck to being a person who's alive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because he's not.
Well, he's been dead a while, but it's a weight joke. But
Yeah.
supposedly I mean, it's so funny when I saw that. This was recent when I saw the thing about Thinner. Like he was supposed to be in the movie.
I had no idea.
And the goal was like he would lose weight. Actually, he
Yeah.
would lose weight, and
I
uh,
never saw the movie. I read the book. It was like a short little book. Um,
you remember the movie Boxing Helena?
yeah. David Lynch's
I
kid made
swore he
that.
was one of the people they wanted to play the like when that movie. I remember when they first mentioned it, and there was like originally it was supposed to be Madonna, and then like
Oh
at
yeah.
one point George Wendt was gonna play the male lead,
That
the
went to
guy
Julian
from
Sands, right?
yeah, the one that went to Julian Sands. Like
Yeah.
that's a big difference. Like,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
let's see what Norm's doing from Cheers. We could be the villain.
Right.
You know what? I was thinking more of Julian Sands.
Yeah.
It's a
That
little
was
different.
yeah, well the Lynch name was super big at that time. I remember that Boxing Helena. I saw that in the theaters. It was a little underwhelming, but
It was
like
Sherilyn Fenn played the girl in the end.
yeah, yeah.
We got boxed.
Yep. She
It
was
wasn't
super.
very good.
No, but she that was another reason. Like David Lynch's daughter directed it,
Oh,
and
that's right.
the
I didn't
girl
realize.
from Twin Peaks was in it, and there's like a lot of like, and that's right when Twin Peaks was real hot, and there's that. I think that movie only people only remember that movie because of those things. But anyway, speaking of like odd kind of forgettable movies, we both watched in varying degrees of completeness the Electric State,
Yeah.
which it was look apparently this was a graphic novel a while ago, and it was very highly regarded, and it won all sorts of awards. And I looked it up, and the graphic novel looks hauntingly beautiful. I mean, it's a very very cool looking book.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard that. I didn't know it was based on a graphic novel, actually.
it's a if and look, I could be wrong if there's any huge Electric State fans out there. From what I understand, it's actually like a series of like images with like a paragraph. Like like it's not a graphic novel like The Watchmen was a graphic novel. It's like a long form comic book that told a story. This was more like it was definitely a graphic
Like
novel,
a
but it was
series of stories or something, like
no, it was like
a
one
vignette
story,
or
but like imagine on the left side of the page there's a very cool painting, and on the right
oh,
side of the page there's a paragraph.
it's usually I think they call that like prose novel.
It's okay, maybe
Because I
something like
remember
that.
like one time like yeah, there was like a Batman issue or something. Grant Morrison or something was writing Batman. I think it was Batman.
Okay,
And one of the issues was like that. And people were like, what the fuck? And it was like a Batman
right.
issue. And people were like, I don't want this. I want a fucking comic.
It's
What is, you know?
it's a weird mix because like I don't know that you're going to satisfy fully either audience. People that want a novel or people that
I
want a
mean,
graphic
the
novel.
paintings are cool. They look interesting. But so this movie supposedly cost like over 300 million to make.
330 million is
You
what I
got the
heard.
Russo brothers. Um, so you got fucking Marvel, fucking
Yep.
the guys who made the most money making Marvel movies, I think.
Yes.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know if Deadpool beat them out yet. I think Deadpool might have. But you got Chris Pratt as the lead
Yep.
or one of the leads. You got uh 11, whatever her name is. What's that actress' name?
Millie
Oh
Bobby.
shit on that actress so
Yeah, they
much.
really
I
do.
feel bad for her. Like, I mean, I don't know. Did she get some like weird work done on her face or something?
She
Or,
looks
or did she do some weird? I think she just does some weird makeup shit. I don't know.
she dressed she's like older, I mean I think
She's
she
not that old though.
no,
She
but I think
looks
she like
older. She looks.
wants to, yeah, yeah.
She's
But
like making
330
herself
million,
look too old almost. Like
yeah,
people are like thinking she's in her late 30s or something. Like she's like what 21 maybe? I don't even know.
yeah. Um I don't know. I did read she came out with some post the other
Yeah, she's
day.
21.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know. I just feel like people are just shitting on this poor girl. I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, like, it's not like she's my favorite actress in the world.
Well, I've read a lot of things that and I don't know how I would explain this, but I it's like I know it when I see it, but I don't know why it is what it is. But people are saying like she's good on TV, she's not good in movies.
Well, she
Um,
hasn't. Okay, so she was in those in two Godzilla movies,
she was
and
in Enola Holmes.
I never saw
Um,
those.
I saw the first one. It was good, I thought. I mean, like,
I saw that dragon movie.
oh,
I
I
thought
never
that was
saw that.
okay. The one where she like they
Yeah, I know which
sacrifice
one.
her, but then she like makes a deal with the dragon.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool, actually. People shit on that movie. I actually enjoyed it. I thought
What
it
was
was
that called? Do you remember?
uh, fuck.
It had a like a common name, like a name that didn't really
Like something
explain
to
what.
do with like fairy tales or some shit.
Yeah, yeah, it
It
sounded
was
real.
Damsel.
Yeah,
I thought
it
it
was
was a
a
cool twist. I didn't know that was gonna happen, and then she gets like they trick her and they sacrifice her, and you find out like that's how the deal they made to keep the dragon
yeah,
happy. And then you find out they killed like the dragon's children or something, and the dragon's
yeah,
actually kind of a victim also. And like I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. People, I
yeah,
think they just want to shit on something. When they want to
yeah.
shit on something, like like I said, it was easy for me to shit on Kraven, but the last 30 minutes I was able to wipe a little bit.
Well, here's my big
I mean, this
problem.
movie sucks ass. This movie, and she doesn't do anything good. She's not good in this movie. No one's good in this movie. Chris Pratt's like phoning it in. Like everyone sucks in this
Yeah,
movie.
I honestly didn't even think that was Chris Pratt when I first saw him. I and look,
He's
the
doing
movie.
those like Jesus ads now
Yeah,
for that Halo app.
God.
That
I
guy went to
looked
high school.
at yeah, that's gross. This movie cost 330 million. The effects are fine.
They're okay. I
Um,
don't like the designs on the robots.
no.
The I think this movie doesn't. Well, first of all, it's like odd. It begins in like the early 90s, and then you find out there's like some
What?
robot war. It's like an alternate reality. So
Yeah,
you're actually watching 1994.
that's the thing. Is like I
Bizarre.
don't understand I don't understand that. And then they had like it's
If
just
you read
sing
the book, it would make sense, like an alternate
maybe I don't
timeline. I mean, it's kind of like how Fallout is. Fallout, you keep thinking, you think when you see the beginning of the show, you're like, okay,
yeah,
this was in the 50s and or the 60s during the Cold War, and in this world, Earth ended. But then you watch the show and you realize, like, no, actually,
yeah,
that's the future. Just kept that 60s aesthetic.
right.
It never let go of like that style because you like see all the technology when they show the pre-Fallout years.
Right. It was just yeah,
It
they
was already
followed a
the
different path.
yeah. And so this movie's kind of like that, but they don't do a good job executing it. I like
It's the
Mr. Peanut, played by Woody
that
Harrelson, is bizarre. That
that was the thing that I could because like look, Mr. Peanut
is he
signing a
a
peace
Planter's
treaty
peanut
with
or is he
Bill
just a random
Clinton.
peanut?
No, it's the Planters Peanut guy. Mr. Peanut signs a peace treaty with Bill Clinton, and they have the whole thing of it. And this that should be really funny, but it's not.
I want Mr. Peanut.
Plus, like, why not have it not why it's a peanut? Why not have it Jimmy Carter? Why not set it back a few years further? Because
Why
that'd
would it be
be
Bill Clinton?
yeah, like it's just like and then
I don't know. That was weird. The movie was
why aren't you
odd.
making this funnier? Like,
And
because
then like 3 years, then 3 years pass by, and then you find out like the story of like she's like in a foster home, and George Costanza is
his
on the
stepfather or
verge. Oh
something.
yeah, they have this thing. Okay, so Stanley Tucci's the villain. He's okay in the movie.
Yeah,
Giancarlo Esposito is fine. I feel like this guy pretty unfortunately, like I think he's a great actor. I like him, but I feel like they overcast this guy and he
yeah,
ends up just playing the same fucking kind
yep,
of character. That's why I like that one show on Netflix he was in where it was like it was an interesting show. It was about like he was like the lead of this like gang, like people who like steal like thieves, and each episode kind of told the
yes.
story from like a different perspective or something. It was like
What
out of
was
order the
that?
story. That was it. You could watch it in like any
Right. They yeah, they randomized the order for
yeah,
people.
yeah. And I thought he was great in that because
That was really good. Yeah.
he played like he didn't play fucking Gus, another version of Gus. Like he's on
Right.
The Boys. He's just kind of playing a variation of Gus, Like he's on like he was on Community, but that was done on purpose, him playing
Yeah.
a Gus like character. But like I liked him in that show a lot because he got to like cut loose and
Yeah.
kind of play like a character he would play like back in the day. Like um he's in I think he's in that horrible Stephen King movie, the one about the one with Emilio Estevez, the one that Stephen King directed. And he made a joke in saying that cocaine actually directed the movie. It's the one
Oh,
about the
yeah.
trucks and the cars coming to life.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, yeah, he's in that.
Yeah.
That's like his
I
first
forgot
movie.
about that.
He gets
Yeah.
electrocuted. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, he's okay in this movie too. It's just like I don't know. It's not his fault. I mean, listen, he said before he got the part in Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
he was gonna fake his death so his fucking kid no, so he could his family could have life insurance. He had no fucking work. He said that movie
Yeah.
show saved his fucking life.
Good for
And
him.
good for him. I mean, he's been
I like him as an
consistently,
actor, but you're right.
yeah.
He does play like
They
variations
get
of the.
they give
That's
him
more of a casting thing than his acting.
yeah, like he's got to be like show up though and be like, I was a fellow. I don't know.
Right.
I played. I don't know. He's like the drag queen wife in the birdcage or something on stage. You know, like I have range. They all sound like Gus. Doesn't matter. It's all Gus.
Yeah.
It's Gus playing like Sonic the Hedgehog or something.
Oh,
Yeah, we
oh
see
well.
more like a this character. Um, yeah, so like there's like it's a stacked cast. There's tons of like robots are voiced by like
No, the
different
cast is
like
real
Anthony
big.
Mack is
Yeah.
one of the voices in it. Like anyone that was in a Marvel movie is cat like it has like a line or two as a robot. That one oh speaking of a person who hasn't acted in years, and this guy's like in everything now. The guy from Goonies, who
Oh yeah.
I mean he's just shown up in everything now. He's in this. Um
Well, you can see how that money got spent real quick because the effects are not bad. They're
they're
not
not
bad.
bad. I just don't think the design's that great. Like I don't
Right.
find I do like the robot that hangs out with Chris Pratt. I like that robot. And I liked okay, so the robot has different bodies because then and he gets bigger and he gets bigger and then you didn't finish the movie. Do you give a shit?
No, no, no.
So he gets killed, this robot. But then you find out that there was a little one inside of the regular
Oh,
size
nice.
because he got big. And it's kind of like a baby Groot thing in the end, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But in the Chris Pratt, like, there's this weird scene in the end where he's like basically telling the robot, like, that the robot's more of a friend, more than a friend to him. Like, when he thinks the robot's dying, like,
Yeah.
died, it was killed. He's like, you know, you were more than a friend to me. Like, almost like basically saying, like, he wanted to date this
Right.
robot who is male coded. So that was interesting for Chris Pratt to,
Yeah.
I guess that was technically his first gay role, you know, for, I'm sure he, you know, he's like isn't he like in a church or something that's very homophobic?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, I think he is. Um,
They're like, it's okay. It's a robot. No one's gonna think about it too much.
well, yeah, but you can see where the money went between the effects and the cast. You can easily see the first like 200 million, and then I think Sherry Moon had a small role, so that's usually like 75 mil right there. Rob Zombie's wife. And so
She
that's
got she took 100 million home.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Rob Zombie's wife. Yeah, I love that thing about the monsters. A
Yeah,
Netflix movie also. I do believe Rob Zombie
I
though
do too. I
says
do too.
that he did not get 40 million. He was like, and when he made the joke about like how that would have been like his last five movies combined or
Right.
something. But then again, who knows, man?
Yeah,
Netflix throws money at shit.
it's
Even
true.
like people are like, why would Netflix throw 300 million into this fucking movie? Like it's a
Well,
strange movie because it's like it's not going to get theatrical release.
yeah.
It just kind of got I knew they were marketing it somewhat just because I saw like coming soon, like you know, if you go on Netflix and you go on there, sometimes they'll show you like something coming soon. And I was like, this looks interesting. You got like Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown, directed by the Russo brothers.
Yeah.
Peanut. And then you have all these like robots, these like big crazy robots. It looks like a crazy movie, and I'm like,
Mhm.
You think if it came out in the theater, it would have been better? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
I
think I would have
feel
gotten savaged in the theater also. I think it would have bombed.
I
But this
think
movie
so.
bombed. No one's even watching this.
Yeah, that's the thing is that like uh, this movie should have done real well on Netflix. This should have been
I think people are at a point now because usually like the joke was like Adam Sandler, like when he stopped making his stupid movies that he would make, and this is pre
yeah,
uh Uncut Gems,
uncut gems.
where this is the shitty Adam Sandler movies. And it was like those had massive, massive viewings because like his movies weren't making as much after that. He made that
Right.
one with him and his where he plays his sister
Oh
with
yeah, yeah.
Dunkachino.
God, yeah.
He, do you know why he did that?
No.
I'll explain that in a second. So everybody would watch these movies because they were just like, well, I don't have to go to the theater, Sam. And Netflix would have like, they would say like 90 million, 100 million people watched it.
Right.
Like, that's really good. Like a lot of people, and like I said, people were probably like, I don't want to pay money to see Adam Sandler movies, but I'll
Yeah.
watch it when they premiere it. And you would think this one would have done well, but I think people were probably just like, what the fuck is this?
It got terrible buzz,
Oh,
and I
I,
think,
I
yeah,
saw all the bad reviews before I even watched it. Like, I watched it, I started watching it the day it came out, like a little bit, and I fell asleep to it because
yeah.
that
Well,
was that happened to me with Craven too. I used Craven as a um what is it, Dramamine?
no,
What's that drug Roseanne used that she claimed she got?
not Dramamine.
What was
Dramamine's for motion sickness.
Oh, what
Oh,
is
you're talking
oh
about
I got a little
Ambien.
motion sickness from Ambien.
Ambien, yeah.
Yeah. I watched Craven to fall asleep, and then I got a little racist after because that's what Ambien does, right? I love that when Ambien tweeted after the whole Roseanne
Right.
claimed that she was
Our
racist.
product does not make you racist.
It
um,
just, like this company was probably like laughing their asses off. Like, I just want to state that our product does not make you racist.
well, yeah, yeah.
Beer should do that too. Beer, alcohol should be like, listen, we're not the one making you racist. Clearly, that's you.
Yeah. Um, I kept Electric State on, but then I like watched half of it and then I just started doing other shit. I played guitar for a little bit. I flipped around on my
Play
phone.
guitar.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever make your family listen to you?
No, 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 no. No.
Do you go "Brr, brr, 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 brr,
I've been working on the solo for Stairway to Heaven for 37 years, and I'm almost
brr, brr"?
to Smoke on the Water. Yeah, all the hits. I do that.
Yeah, this movie was like, oh, okay. So now I was gonna talk about this real quick.
Yeah,
Al
yeah.
Pacino, Dunkachino. So he said that basically, I guess he lost all his money. Like his manager, he got totally screwed. Like,
Oh, I do
yeah,
remember hearing about
he was
that.
like broke. I mean, I'm curious when these guys say they're broke, I'm always curious what that means. I guess it means like the lifestyle he wants to have would not be
Yeah,
achievable. But I would imagine if he moved, he'd be
yeah,
okay. You know what I
probably.
mean? Like, I think if he bought like a normal house and like he would be fine. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he was fucking broke. They're probably like, and he said like he was at an age already where it's like any role I get is not gonna pay what I used to get because I'm an
Yeah,
old man now. And they offered him a lot of money to be in that stupid movie to sing that. And he's like, he thanked him for it. It like it
yeah,
got him out of a hole.
yeah. I don't blame him for. I mean, like, I don't begrudge anyone
Oh
for
no,
doing
no.
shit like that. There's someone. I'm trying to think of who does that. There was another actor that would always do like
That movie was
one.
absolute shit though.
It's not Johnny Depp, but it's like a Johnny Depp where they do like two Pirates of the Caribbean so they can do one art film,
What's
you
his
know.
face said that? Edward Norton made a statement about that. That
Maybe that was what I'm
I
thinking
think it
of.
was him. A lot of actors I've heard say that shit. Like basically, it's like, listen, I'm gonna do this so I
So
can.
like, yes,
Chris
that's
Evans, I
great.
think, kind of said that too. Like, I mean, the funny thing too about actors these days, and you probably remember this. You see actors and actresses now in commercials all the time.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
No, I remember that.
That was a no. I think Super Bowl commercials condition people into making it acceptable for actors to start, famous people to be in commercials. That it didn't make it look tacky or weird.
Right. It was like more of a prestige type of, yeah,
Because it
like a
was, yeah, it was like
prestige
an
thing.
event, the Super Bowl, so the commercials are an event.
Yeah.
Now it's like actors can do the fuck they want. So like, yeah, that's why back in the day, Arnold's like, "Hey, you want to make like a quick 2 million bucks?" And he'd be like, "I love,"
Yeah.
because he's
Right.
how he sounds. And he'd go to Japan and make some weird ass fucking commercial. And you're thinking anybody would ever fucking see it here, but then the internet happened,
Yeah.
and all those commercials are here. You ever see those weird ones with them with like
Yeah.
soy sauce?
That was the whole plot of Lost in Translation.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was pretty
Um,
much like years after that. But now it's like it's okay. Chris Pratt was in fucking. He was the Pringles man. And it was
oh
actually a
yeah,
clever
yeah.
commercial because it was making fun of the fact of him getting like casted in like everything. Like he's
Right.
Mario, he's Garfield. Like it's like,
Yeah.
eh, like can't think of anyone else. So that was kind of funny him being the Pringles guy, and he also got paid probably a shit ton of money.
Oh
But
yeah.
again, it's like it's acceptable. It's not a like a
Right. It's not a anchor around your
doesn't cheapen
neck.
the
Yeah.
brand. No one cares anymore. And,
Yeah.
and I think it's the same. I think another thing too is, back in the day, there would be actors who are only on TV. And if
Yep.
they ever got in a movie, it was always either be like a bit part, something small. And any actor that would leave a big show to make it out in the movies, I don't think any of these people from like the 80s and 90s actually succeeded outside of I think Ted Danson might have been because he was like in Three Men and a Lady or
He
what.
had a decent, yeah, career outside of that.
He didn't leave Cheers to make that movie.
No, no.
He didn't leave like the guy who was on fucking that New York the cop show.
Oh yeah.
And, and then Shelley Long being another one who kind of fucked up.
Shelley Long had a disastrous
Yeah.
turn.
But
Um,
now these days, like because of
David
like
Caruso was
yeah,
the
but then
NYPD blue guy.
because of these days now, with like HBO shows got really big, people were like actually doing a show will probably like fucking jazz up my fucking career again. If it's like
Yeah.
a good show you get on and people watching, you get awards, and you're gonna start getting movies again too. I don't think they give a shit anymore. I don't think there's like this like there's so many like go on Apple and there's like shows you ain't even heard of and they have like tons of huge actors on it.
Oh yeah. Billy
Like
Crystal's in a show on Apple now. I haven't watched it.
Billy Crystal.
He is. I mean,
Yeah, but
Billy
I wouldn't say
Crystal.
he was his movie acting career has been big in like 30 years.
No, no, that's what I was going to say. Is that Billy
What's he
Crystal
on?
was
What
like
show?
he plays like a psychiatrist that's having a nervous breakdown. It's a drama. It's like a real serious one.
It's Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
Does he say you look marvelous?
No, he does not do that. Um, what is the name of that show? I don't know. It's got like a one word title. And it's supposed to be like a creepy one, like not like straight up horror, but Billy Crystal's career was real weird. He was huge for a little while and then kind of went
Lady
nowhere.
Slickers. Lady Slickers made him huge. And
Yeah,
then
well, and Sally Met Harry was a big one. Um,
Harry Met Sally.
when Harry Met Sally. Was that it? That was
Yeah.
what it was called,
The
right?
the I don't think I ever actually watched that movie,
It was fine. I saw it in the theaters.
but it's famous for that one scene where he says, "You look marvelous."
Yes.
No,
Uh,
it's the I'll have what she's having. I'll have what she's having. Because she's
the
like,
name of the show is called Before. A
uh,
recently widowed child psychiatrist named Eli meets with his next client who mysteriously shows up at his house and appears to know things about him.
I
Uh,
think I know where Billy
yeah.
Crystal fucked up his movie career
Huh.
was
Mike Wazowski.
no,
No,
that's
people love
fucking
Mike. Yeah,
that
he's
yeah, like that's a fucking he probably bought a fucking mansion because of those
yeah,
movies. I mean,
fucking Mike
like
Wazowski. He was great.
he's like, I just gotta show up and
Yeah.
read lines and then you'll just pick out the best ones.
What was his career fuck up?
It was a movie kind of similar like Jim Carrey doing the Andy Kaufman movie where they take this role too fucking serious. He was playing like an old Jewish comedian, which I guess was a character he had on SNL for years. And they made a movie and it was like 3 hours long. I think he was thinking he was going to get an Oscar for it. It came out like in the mid 90s or something. I
Was it
gotta look it
Mr.
up.
Saturday Night?
Yes, and it was not very good. It
That
was like
was his,
okay.
he directed that. That was his
Yeah,
first job directing.
but it was like, what year did that come out?
92.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he was in a lot of stuff afterwards, but I think like he was like on a high after doing City Slickers. City Slickers was
Yeah.
the first one. The second one was like
You
whatever.
know what else he did? He did after that Deconstructing Harry, which was remember that movie?
Who was that? Who was in? Oh, that was with Robert De Niro. That was okay. That fixed his career then. Yeah, because that did really well. And I think they made a sequel, didn't they?
No, that was with
Robert De Niro, right?
I don't
Deconstructing Harry. He was like a therapist for a mafia guy. And that's why when Sopranos came out, I was thinking of that movie. I was like,
no, Deconstructing Harry was a Woody Allen movie. Um
okay, but isn't there a movie where he's a therapist to a mob guy?
there was Analyze This.
Yeah, okay.
That was it. Yeah,
I don't
that
remember
was 99.
deconstructing Harry.
That was a Woody Allen movie, and it was really good, but it was very serious. And it was like way out of character for Billy Crystal at the time because it was like, it was not a comedy, like a broad
He wasn't wearing
comedy.
blackface like he did on SNL one time.
No, he
Dude,
was
that was
not.
the funniest part of the 50th anniversary of SNL. Did you watch any of that?
No, I haven't.
Tom Hanks came out. They did it in memoriam,
Yeah.
but it was not on like people who died. It was like skits like
Oh, Jesus.
aged horribly. And there was like a bunch of skits they showed like that aged bad, and they showed them.
Yeah.
But then there were skits where they just blurred out everything, and you could kind of see the black face and like the all the
Oh,
people were like dressed up in like very stereotypical like white people like
they do the Dana Carvey
oh, that
chicken make
Chinese
lousy.
guy.
Yeah. Oh, God.
God. There's a really fucking funny skit, and it aged awful. It's the one where Chris Farley plays a guy, tourist in Japan, and he ends up on a Japanese game show.
I
But
remember
like
this. Yeah.
Mike Myers is the host.
Yes.
Everyone's
Yeah.
got, they
Right.
all got like makeup to make them look. Jimmy
Yes.
Garoppolo, Alec
Oh,
Baldwin. I forgot the woman who was on it too. But dude, it is one of the fucking funniest skits ever made. And in the end, he gets his balls electrocuted. It's like it
that's
just
it.
looks like
Yeah.
Chris Paul. He's like, oh! He's like, honey, call the embassy. Like he got tricked. Like he got there. He's just like this lame dad, in, like America.
Yeah.
He's on, and that was like the joke because like people were starting to learn that like on that time period in like the early '90s, like that they were insane. Get
Yeah. Yeah.
the game shows in Japan were absolutely fucking insane. Like people literally got hurt, and
Yeah.
they
I
made a
remember.
joke where like Alec Ball, like they get an answer wrong and they have to cut their finger off,
God.
and then Chris Foley somehow gets it right, but he ends up getting his. But like I said, the skit's funny as fuck. But like,
Right. You just, it just,
and internet shit you
yeah.
can find on you can find on YouTube, but
Yeah.
it is like you watching it, you're just like, I mean, Mike Myers is great in it. Like
Right.
we're talking, oh God, what's his name? That guy, uh, the the movie with fuck, Kubrick, and he plays like six characters. It's about the nuclear bomb. It's kind of like a
Oh,
comedy.
Strangelove. Yeah. Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, but who was the guy? It was the famous actor who played,
Yeah. He
but he
played
played an
like,
Indian in it,
well,
didn't he?
Peter Sellers was played a couple different roles.
Yeah, and I think one of them was like an Indian, which is not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
God, I remember the
Peter
worst one.
Sellers was in that movie, The Fiendish Plot of Dr. Fu
And
Manchu.
he was in like brown face in that,
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah. Different time. Ugh.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that shit. Cast people like except for Daredevil.
Yeah. Right. Well, I guess
Speaking of
Daredevil's,
Daredevil, yeah. So
yeah.
Electric State, there's some cool. If you want to see the robots, watch some clips online. Movie's a waste of
Yeah.
time. It wasn't very good. It's like everybody's phoning it in. Like Chris Pratt's like phoning it in. Like um, Tucci's good, But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you watch it and you're just like, it should be good. It was made by the Russo, and I'm just like, they were probably just counting their money that the whole time. Like they didn't even.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, are we supposed to make a movie here?
Yeah.
Let AI
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Well,
People, they no, it's like it's getting to the point now where people think like, did they make this script in AI?
yeah, I could see that. Um,
I
yeah.
think that's being a little ridiculous.
Well, this
So
had source material, but like I could see AI. I don't know. I mean, I could see like people feeding the script into AI and saying like, what can we punch up or, whatever. It doesn't matter. Lackluster movie.
yeah, it's just
Would
like I said. If you told me like this, and then it should in theory be good, but
Oh yeah. If you
and
read
I
me the if I had the source material and the cast and the people behind the movie and the money involved, I'd be like, yeah, that's going to be a great movie. Or at least like Ready Player One, which I didn't love, but like
it's
was
entertaining though. I still
yeah,
enjoyed it. It had a little bit of like Willy Wonka in it.
yep, yeah.
But yeah, it was like all right. I think from what people said, like it didn't really capture the book or something.
I read the book was amazing, and I um I loved the book, and I gave it to kids when I was teaching to read,
I gave it to
and
random children on the street.
universally the kids loved it, and they didn't even get the 80s references. They just loved. I remember this one kid who was not a he wasn't a great he was real smart, but he wasn't a good student, and he just like came up to me. I remember the look on his face. He's like, are there other books like this? Like he had no idea that a
I'm
like
gonna play you something
yeah, yeah,
a minute long, and I'm gonna credit the guy.
okay.
This is like one of my favorite things. It has 2 million views. I feel like it deserves more. It's the rejected theme song from Ready Player One. This
uh,
guy, it's so good. It's 58 seconds long and it
all right.
perfectly captures the movie.
Remember Tomb Raider. Remember Weird Science. Remember Battletoads and the Iron Giant. Remember Star Wars and Transformers the movie. Remember Ghostbusters. Remember the Goonies. Remember when neon used to be trendy. Remember the Where's the Beef Lady from Wendy's. Remember Kira? That's from Japan. Remember Galaga and Mrs. Pac-Man? Remember Contra? Remember Street Fighter? Remember the A-Team? Remember Knight Rider? Remember The Simpsons seasons 1 through 9? Remember Logging Hunt to America online? Remember Highlander and Highlander 2? Remember Star Trek? We certainly do.
Some stuff. It's amazing.
That's really good.
It just captures the whole like nostalgia bait. Like just saying, remember this? Ready. That guy, that guy deserves more. I hope he's doing well. It was 7 years ago. I hope he survived COVID.
Yeah.
That's fucked up when you think about it. You're like,
Yeah.
you look back, and like I'll watch something, I'll see something, and I'm like, I did. I did like anything pre-COVID. I'm like, is he
Yeah.
still alive?
Yeah. Yeah. That's weird.
It's
Mm.
fucked up.
Wow. It is true.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, it's not fucked up. Actually, I guess it was fucked up too. Daredevil is. I like. He's not in the costume yet. They set it up in the end.
He's getting there. Yeah.
He's getting there. He looked at the mask. I guess he has a whole bunch of them. Again, it's kind of
Well, and he
funny. It's
keeps
like,
like
how the fuck does he know which mask he's using?
yeah. Right.
Oh, he
He's
had
got
a
like little
horn. Yeah, he
yeah, he
was holding
keeps
on to like one
holding
of
the
the horns.
horn.
Yeah.
Uh
Um, no, it was a good episode. I like the thing with the kingpin.
yep.
I guess that spoilers. Let's be out of order. So in the end of the episode, they kind of show like this is kind of cool because I guess they were. I was watching this thing and they brought up a good point. Said that basically like Kingpin's on the top because he's
Yes.
like the mayor now, and like Daredevil's kind of like on the bottom now, whatever. But like
Right.
in the end of the show, it kind of like he goes to the roof
Yep.
to go
Yeah.
back to being Daredevil, and Kingpin descends back to like hell,
Yeah. The basement.
where he has
Yeah.
the painting, and that painting, he buys it from his wife. in like I think it's the first season, and the reason why he loved the painting so much was because it reminded him like his dad would make him stare at the wall. It's kind of fucked up. He'd make him
Yeah,
stare
yeah.
at the wall until he got home. It was like, and the paint he would just get lost at it. And I guess in the third finale of the third season, Daredevil just beats the fucking shit out of Kingpin to the point where he blood sprays out and goes onto that painting.
Right.
So you see the blood splatter. He never got it cleaned or anything.
Yeah.
And then they show him eating. I don't know. He has like this plate of like a big old sausage, whatever.
It's like, yeah, like pasta dish with sausage and
Mukbanging Kingpin. I like to do a little bit of a mukbang before I get back to being Kingpin. I have to get back to my Kingpin weight.
Yeah.
You know, when people see a thin Kingpin, they think, does he have cancer? I want people to realize that no.
Oh, I ate
I was trying to be
16
a what?
I ate 16 king pints of ice cream each evening.
Yeah. I don't have cancer. I'm just was trying to fit into clothes. I'm the mayor.
Well,
Now I'm gonna become the Kingpin again. I'm gonna pork up.
it was a great episode. This is weird because like I
like my
love
Kingpins to be porky. That's just
I like the actor Vincent D'Onofrio.
oh, he's
who plays,
great. He's so good.
And I like the Kingpin. I do think
he's a big fat head. That's why it works. He's
yeah,
got a
he does.
big fat bald head.
Yep.
And the Kingpin had a big fat bald head in the comics.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pick Edward Norton to play the Kingpin. If you do that, you're like, what the fuck is this?
No. It looks like, yeah, the back of his head looks like a package of hot dogs.
I thought Michael Clark Duncan was, I remember people were like, because they were
sure,
but whatever. He was opposing.
Yeah,
he's roundish too.
He had the vibe of the Kingpin.
Yeah.
I think I would say this episode's really good. I would say the Punisher scene was great.
The scene where they had a little crying session.
Yeah,
I like my Punishers when they instead of raining bullets, they rain a little bit of tears. Man,
I thought that was a good scene. I liked a lot of the setup.
I like how he said he should have killed Bullseye, and he's like, he's got life in jail.
Yeah,
I think Bullseye's gonna get out.
What about Froggy?
Foggy?
Froggy.
That's said Froggy. It's Foggy.
Yeah. No, Froggy. I'm pretty sure it's not Froggy.
No, it's Foggy.
It's Froggy. Okay.
Froggy.
Yeah.
His name's Froggy. He has a rat, he croaks.
Damn you, Froggy. Damn.
What's that from?
Froggy?
Yeah.
He was one of the original Little Rascals.
Was he?
He had a
Remember that Simpsons joke when Moe talks about they're like, you were on the Little Rascals as a kid?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He played a character and he kills Alfalfa.
Right.
He's like, it was just some orphan that the studio owned. So he never went to jail or anything.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I thought I will say this. That
joke would make no sense to any kid now. Fuck is a little
fuck
rat.
Is a froggy.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
The episode I felt was building.
It was paced better too.
Yes.
Like the court case was kind of slow and boring in the last episode. Yep. This one was just I like how they referenced the Skrull, the guy who stole battle.
Yeah.
I liked what it was interesting in the end. He talks about it's like, yeah, great, you said 20 days in jail, but I didn't get my SSI because of that or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid I have any. It's kind of funny, when you hear these fuckers, Republicans and everything, anytime they try to strip Snap of anything, oh, you can't get this, you can't get this.
Right.
Robert Kennedy's like, I'm going to make it that people can't buy sugar with food stamps. It's like, I think, listen, you can make the argument and say that, the importance of buying, fruits and vegetables, but, can people have, no fucking
that's the thing
at all? Can people not have one slight bit, a piece of candy?
They always say
I've never been hungry with a fiddle faddle before.
Yeah,
watching that.
They say one of the problems is that whenever you see a disadvantaged person, the average tendency is to categorize them as a victim or a sinner, and so that's why if you see a homeless veteran, you're I'm not saying you, but like society is like, oh well, they're a victim.
He wasn't a veteran, was he? No.
No, but like that was the thing is with this character, like
He's just
they
saying, like,
see
when
him
you
as
get in the system, it's designed to keep throwing you back.
yeah, yeah,
And he even said the fucking cops were stealing it in the end.
oh yeah.
And even Daredevil was like, yeah, they suck.
He was like an unsympathetic character that I thought that was like handled weird because like the
When
point
he
they
was
were
making fun of
making,
her for being blind or something, like I got the blind lawyer or whatever.
yeah, he was just kind of like a dick.
He
Like,
was a dick. I mean, I think in the end, though, when he explains himself finally and stops
yeah,
being an asshole, then you feel a little bit of sympathy for him. But,
you do, but even then you're like,
I think it's more like not him, just like the
yeah,
system is really what, it's like I always say, like, you gotta like, you gotta look at like, don't look at the person, look at what they're talking about.
right,
And like, yeah, you may not even like that person, but they could be talking about something that's like outside of them. Don't just like, he's talking about a bigger
yeah,
thing.
no, yeah.
It was
Well,
like,
anyway,
speaking of which, real quick, I know I've been kind of digressing a lot in this, but whatever. Rob Liefeld, you know who that is?
yes, but
Well,
I
he's the
don't.
guy who made Deadpool.
Okay,
And there
yes,
was some
yeah,
controversy recently where he was like pissed at Kevin Feige or something. He just said that he basically said like when Deadpool came out last year or whatever, the new one, he just wasn't treated that great. Like, they didn't like schmooze him a little bit
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Like when they made the movies on the Fox ones, they like kissed his ass. They invited him, they promoted
right,
him,
right,
like they
right.
gave him credit and everything. But then he said like, and all these people were like shitting on Rob Liefeld and saying he's like an egomaniac, blah blah blah. But at the same time, you could say he's trying to bring up a point that like they don't give a shit about the people that actually create the fucking content that make like
Yeah,
to make $1 billion movie. Rob Liefeld's not getting $1 billion. I'm sure he makes a decent living. I mean, the
sure,
guy I've seen his picture, the guy's rich as fuck, but like he's not rich as fuck
right, right,
as like Kevin Feige or like
right, yeah,
like he's just you got to look at it from the bigger picture and be like Rob Liefeld, yeah, he's kind of a he could sound like a douche, but he's making a big point
yeah.
here.
He's got a valid point.
Saying that like they don't they take for granted the people who actually create the fucking content that they made the fucking movies from.
Yeah.
The guy, I think it was Jim Starlin. It's just actually kind of funny. Jim Starlin, who wrote the original Infinity Gauntlet and the Thanos saga, which is basically what Infinity Wars, at the entire Infinity Saga would not exist if it weren't for Jim Starlin. And he said, I'm pretty sure it was him, that he made more royalties from from a DC movie from a
Oh,
character
wow.
he made that was only in the movie for like a minute. He got more royalties for that from Warner Brothers than he said he got for like Marvel movies.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, good for Warner Brothers was like they saw they're like, but we're paying these fucking guys too much. He just made a character we killed off in like 10 seconds. Like,
God.
I think
Ugh.
he might have been exaggerating a bit, but he was bringing up a good point. But again, sorry, I was digressing. But back to the show. I think it's really good. This was
Yeah,
a good
it is.
episode, and you said it does build up. So it'd be funny though if Daredevil's not the next episode
Well,
though.
that's the thing is this. I was going to say, look, we're 4 hours into this show now.
Yeah.
It's been very good. The
Well, let's
acting's
move some
great,
fucking pieces
but
now.
let's get some Daredevil in.
Yeah. Well,
Let's.
I think the next it's gonna be Muse. They're clearly setting Muse up
Yes,
to be the big villain for the next arc. And how
right.
many episodes of this? Do you know? Is it 9 or 12?
Jeez. I thought it was more than we had originally thought. I'm gonna say,
Originally, it was supposed to be 18 episodes, but I think they cut
yeah.
back.
I'm gonna say 12, but let me see. I got it up here.
Because if that's the case, then you kind of got like an Andor thing going where it's really just like
Oh, only 9.
stories.
9.
Right?
Yeah,
Well, they better fucking start hitting the gas pedal, man. Because I
right.
want to see some, and that better not be the only Punisher appearance. Sad Frank in a
Yeah.
fucking warehouse. I want to see.
No. I want to see Daredevil and Punisher teaming up against Kingpin. That's it.
And
I
use
want
the
to see
real
it all next
shitty
episode.
cops that are in the movie, and then
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I want to see Daredevil chuck that one cop off a roof.
Kraven the Hunter. Oh yeah, that guy sucks. You know, didn't Matt Murdock kick the shit out of him?
Yeah, that was the
I
thing.
think
Is
that
in the
guy would be
hallway.
scared of him. He'd be like, dude, this guy's blind. He fucking kicked the shit out.
Yeah, the cops came to
That
the
was in
one
that
guy,
second the end
the
of the second
witness's
episode.
apartment,
Yeah.
and Matt Murdock was there and said, "I represent the guy." And they were gonna kill Matt Murdock. They pulled a gun on him,
Yeah.
and Matt Murdock like dog walked him through the whole apartment. And like one guy got his head slammed in the fridge over and over again, and it was like really intense. So yeah, he should fucking watch his mouth, you know. I mean, like, it's anyway. Well,
I
okay, so
mean, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no. So we'll see where Severance.
I think it's
Daredevil
kind of
goes.
funny that cop, like, I don't know if I was that cop. I mean, he's an arrogant douchebag, but like, dude, you just got your like a
Yeah,
blind dude
blind dude.
took out not one cop, like what, all four of them
It
or
was.
something like that?
Is it over? It was at least two.
More than, yeah.
Yeah.
And he kicked the shit out of them. And
Right.
then he yelled in the end. He's like, "Rah!" And then it goes to the credits, which was like a cool ending.
Yeah.
But like, and that was supposed to be the original. Remember that scene in the beginning was
Right. Yeah.
tacked on, so we could have
Mm.
more Daredevil.
Mm.
So, which is fine. It was a cool scene, but when you watch the show, you realize like, oh yeah, that was not their plan.
Yeah.
We're watching what they actually made. I feel like they reshot a lot of stuff was greatly exaggerated.
I do too.
There
Yeah.
might be some more filler maybe later on. Maybe there's gonna be some more action. Well, who knows? Doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. If I was that cop, I wouldn't be going up to Matt Murdock and threatening him. I'd be
No.
like, I would be trying to figure out like what
Well, I
how the
wonder.
fuck did he like what?
Yeah, I
Those
wonder if.
lawyers who can see can't do this.
Yeah, I wonder if he is 100% convinced that Matt Murdock knows it was him because at the end of their confrontation in the hallway,
Oh, he thinks because he's blind, he probably doesn't even know that it's him.
right, Matt Murdock says, "Well, you better bring next time you come looking for me, you better bring more cops." Or he says something to that effect.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
And
Yeah.
and it's almost like that's Matt Murdock saying, "I know it was you." You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if
Well, Matt Murdock has those like extra abilities, like
Oh yeah, but I wonder if the cop thinks Matt Murdock doesn't know it was me, and that was Matt Murdock's way of saying, "Yeah, I know it was you." You
oh,
know,
like the
like
cop doesn't think that
the cop thinks,
because he's blind that how
right?
would he know who he is or something
Yeah,
like
why not? I mean, I that makes
yeah,
sense, you know.
yeah.
So anyway, so the last episode of Severance has already aired.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it started when when we started recording. I haven't seen it yet, obviously.
I'll be honest with you, I do like the show, but it's not hitting like that first season.
Well,
Nowhere
I
near,
talk
but maybe this episode will decide the new one, the newest one.
I just
That
think
we
it's a
see.
different show. I mean, season one of Severance was a very kind of cerebral critique of work and labor,
It tastes
and
better though too.
yeah,
The
it
ending
was.
very tense.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I remember the last episode. I was like on pins and needles the whole time.
Well, this season definitely plays more into the identity of
Yeah,
everything, like
this
duality and
right.
obviously implying too, like especially after what happens to Mark's wife, um, the idea of like they could have multiple severances in a person,
Yeah,
and like almost like let's say Dylan, I don't know, like there could be another Dylan in there waiting,
yeah.
another Mark. There could be another
It's
Mark. It's not the same Mark from the first season.
It is weird because during the first season, it was very clear to most anyone who's worked in an office before that there are two yous. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like in general, the version of me that shows up at work and works for 8 hours is in a lot of ways a different person than the
That's
person
why
that
even if you like run into somebody from work and you like interact
yes,
with them all the time, it's fucking weird if you
it's
see them out in the
very
wild. You never really hung
yes,
out them outside of work. And even
yep,
if you did hang outside of them outside of work, it was like a work related thing. Like, oh, we went to the bar afterwards.
Yeah. Or
You
if
know, it's
you
like
have a
seeing your teacher when you're a kid and you see your teacher at
yeah,
the store and you're just like, and the power dynamic is gone. And they're just
or if you have a spouse, it is weird to have your
like,
spouse meet like someone you work with because like they know you differently.
yeah,
They just do, not in a good or bad way. It's like they know you differently.
yeah.
They get to see a part of you that your spouse doesn't. That's like very unsettling for people. But this season kind of like introduces the idea that there are actually multiple versions of you. Like there's the you at work, there's the you at home, and then maybe there's a you when you go out with your friends from your hometown, or there's a you that exists when you are, talking about sports, or
Yeah.
it is kind of like a weird little thing. So I've loved this season. I think it's a very different show than the first season. I think this is more of an actiony conspiracy thriller lost
Action.
type of yeah, like there's
Yeah, I guess
action.
so.
I mean, not like yeah, but maybe
Yeah,
action's a
there was
weird way to say.
some. I thought, okay, I like the scene with Christopher Walken. They almost made it look like he was gonna kill Irv,
Yeah, it
but I also
100%.
feel like yeah, they forced him to leave, which I felt that explained things better because, like I said, when that retirement party, which is like you don't
Yeah,
even, you're like they're basically killing him,
right.
and when Dylan's like in this episode, the any Dylan. I love it. He makes like this ring for her, but it's like he's in prison basically because he
Yeah.
doesn't go out. He's not out in the world. He is like in a prison.
No.
His identity is literally in this office, and he can only go where he is allowed to go.
Right.
He's a prisoner, so he made her
Yeah.
a prison ring, which is
Yeah,
kind of
he said
funny.
he'll never he said all I have is this. I have this
Yeah,
office and this ring, and
yeah. And the
uh
thing is, like, he's gonna commit suicide. His cat, like his.
at the end of last episode, yeah.
I'm sure things will change, but
Well, the end of last episode was weird because you had basically Irv sailing off into the sunset, presumably never to be seen again. And you had Dylan about to off himself, any Dylan about to end his life. And you had Helly, what we think is Helly, about to go into the depths of um uh the thing to look for Gemma. And then you had Mark come springing back to life at the birthing center, you know. It was a really good ending. So
oh, I don't remember that.
yeah, remember the last scene was any Mark is in the birthing
Well,
cabin. Audi
I don't
Mark, yeah, Audi Mark, Coble,
in the
and
last episode.
in the most recent episode, Audi
Yeah, not the
Mark,
one that's airing now. Where
right. Audi Mark, Devin, and Coble go to the birthing cabin.
oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
And
right.
then any Mark, you see Devin leading any Mark in, and any Mark's freaked out and he tries to leave. And Devin says, if you leave, you'll just come right back in, meaning we're going to keep making you
Mark's
come
we're gonna
here.
have
Yeah, we're
your
going to keep,
Audi. We'll just walk back in.
yes. And Devin says, what's the last thing you remember saying to me? And he said, she's alive, because that is the
Oh, that's
last
implying
thing.
that the Mark we've seen all season is not him then, right?
Well, no, the Mark we've seen, this is the first time we've seen any Mark on the outside. Like, because the
Well,
last
he was on the
time,
outside in the end of the last season too.
right, when he said she's alive,
Oh, okay.
and then any Mark went back inside,
Yeah.
and any Mark has not been outside since.
Right.
So any Mark is like, to him, that he's had a bunch of any lives, any life since then, but
But it's the same innie, right?
we think so. We
Well, that's
assume
what I'm
so.
saying. If he doesn't, if he just remembers, if he only remembers what that she's
That's the
alive,
last. That's the last thing he remembers saying to
then
Devin.
it is possible that it's a different innie this whole season.
It could be. Yeah. I mean,
And
and I
that
think
innie can still have like memories of his relationship with Helly or whatever
yeah,
and relationship, but like it would almost make sense too, because it would be like, well, if we're gonna have this guy come back into the office, we're gonna reconfigure
Yeah.
these innies a bit because they were a problem and they're just gonna be a problem again.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
would,
it is. I don't know. I think that's the thing we don't really know. And I think that's kind of the interesting thing about the episode, like a couple episodes ago, where they showed like six different versions of any Gemma. Like, for all we know, this is happening to all of them. They all have multiple innies.
yeah,
Like there were a bunch of different Gemmas down there. There's like the prime Gemma that had like memories of Mark, but for all we know, she was another innie. Maybe they kept sending any Gemma out to live with Mark for a while. For all we know, we've never seen Gemma, the real Gemma. I mean,
I
like it's
I don't think I think the one that was on the outside world was also was like an external innie.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it could have been
She's
an
like some
innie.
weird guinea pig for them. I mean, because they have
Yeah,
like all these different innies and outies. And I still think like I know like in the end of the episode, the old man comes in,
yeah,
Elena's like dad or whatever.
yeah,
But I still really do believe that Helly is the original. Now they might have fucked with her memory.
right.
I don't know. We'll find. I feel like we might find that out in this episode. But it would almost make sense that like Helena is the
Yeah,
idealized daughter that is stands by Lumen,
right.
believes in Lumen, and that's why Helly is so against it.
They basically sentenced the real one to the severance floor.
Yeah, and probably with no memory or something.
Yeah,
But she says things like, because she makes those comments about she did that to my body, which is a
yeah.
strange thing kind of for the innie to say because the innie is supposed to be like in service to the
Yeah,
outie.
yeah,
And it's interesting that she would say that. It's almost like she's saying like, no, this is who I am,
yeah,
and this thing they made is
yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. I
Right.
just thought that was an interesting statement because none of the other ones ever say that, like claim ownership of the like
Yeah,
fully of themselves. They know that they're there to like work and to basically be in service to their fucking Audi.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's anyway. I love the show. I'm very anxious to see it.
Yeah,
My
like all those
brother,
TikToks people are making, you're any, your
those are
Audi
great.
likes
Yeah,
Nickelback.
right.
Your Audi drinks Zima. Your
Those
Audi
are all
voted for
funny.
Trump.
Yeah. Um. Yeah,
Those
those
are
are all
some of
really
them are
good.
some of them are good, some of them are like whatever, but some of them are
Yeah,
your
yeah.
Audi skips
The
on bills. I don't know.
the best one I saw is where the guy's Audi leases a cyber truck with his four
Yes,
best
that was a
friends.
good one. Yeah. That was funny. Um,
Your Audi has navy sheets and no headboard. Like what?
that
Like,
that was weird.
yeah, yeah. Well, all right. So, yeah, I guess. Oh, the last thing I was going to say about Severance, my brother has a theory that Helly or Helena, one of them, is pregnant, and that is why she was eating a hard boiled egg, and the guy was like, "I wish you'd eat it raw, but you can't eat raw eggs when you're pregnant."
True.
And the
Shouldn't eat
last
raw eggs ever, but that's another story.
right,
Unless
but
you're Rocky.
then when that guy Egan or whatever snuck up behind Helly on the severance floor, he said, "You tricked me." Um, he it was Helly who got pregnant, not Helena. Like
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like so anyway, we'll see. Um,
I wonder too if you'll find out, like, again, because like the behavior of some of these people who are supposedly unsevered that are like the
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
So you basically find out in this season too that like people are basically going in the basement. Like there's
yeah,
floors below, and that's where all the innies are. Because
right.
the floors above are not, they're not seeing that world.
No,
There's glass, you can see the windows, you can see everything out. And and those workers are not severed. But it would be interesting if you find out like Milchick, that one woman who was a little odd that he
Natalie.
remember he said the thing about like, because I guess she's
Yeah.
they're black too or whatever, and he was
Right.
trying to
Right.
talk about. And I wonder like if it's like they are like severed personalities that were just like that basically assumed the entire identity.
Yeah. No, I think that's entirely
And almost
possible.
like in a way, Milchick is waking up a bit or something in some ways.
Yeah.
'Cause he's starting to get like
A little
disillusioned.
backbone. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because like even in the beginning episode when he like they don't change the name.
Right.
I thought it was funny though, because clearly it was only like a day or two after the season,
Yeah.
but when he lies to Mark and basically says like it's been 6 months and they have
Yeah.
this parade, the photo. So funny. It's like, why did he even the best I still think the best thing is the beginning of the first season, the beginning of the season, when they watched the animation, the
Yeah. That was funny.
claymation thing. It was so fucking weird. And
Dylan's like, what the
the
fuck?
Dylan with the peppermint candies, and he's like, oh fuck, I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah, that was good. That was
Um,
good.
yeah, well, I look forward to seeing the last episode. I don't
Yeah,
know.
me too.
I I just hope again. Well, I hope they get their shit on track. Like there may be another fuck if they're obviously they're doing another season. It may be out fucking next year.
Yeah,
None
Ben
of this
Stiller's come out
2027 bullshit. What?
Ben Stiller has come out a couple times and said that you're going to get it a lot sooner. So
Wow, that could still be 2027 because
yeah, they should have it out in a year. I mean, like,
I bet it'll be out in the summertime at least.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't
I don't want them,
surprise
I don't want them to rush it at the same time.
no, but it wouldn't surprise me too if the next season is the last. I mean that
I think that this is the type of show that can only run a few seasons.
yeah,
It's like a very you're telling a very specific story.
it's got an end.
I mean, Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad was 5 seasons, but what they did was they broke up the fifth season into two, and when it was
I think you're right.
they could, and I think it was like fucking 2 years apart too. It wasn't even just
Yeah,
a year. It was like a fucking massive time break between.
right.
But yeah, again, that was only like I said, like even if they do 5 seasons, if it's just something tight. It doesn't need to be like I don't need 100 episodes of this show. It's not
No,
Star Trek. It's telling
right.
a very, I mean, who knows? Maybe this will lead to a spin-off of some kind.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my innie, and it's about a
Well,
guy who lives with his innie, and it's like a sitcom.
yeah, I mean, you could easily look. This is the kind of show where you could easily see a prequel series. You know,
Something like
um,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
uh,
There could be something interesting.
yeah.
All right. But you know
All
what's
right,
really funny and interesting? A
yeah,
company that was viewed as like innovative, green energy, the future, and is now a fucking joke,
yeah.
right-wing
It
project,
is crazy how
total brand destruction.
I can't think of another product like even when Jared Fogle was just arrested, I wouldn't have had any qualms about eating at Subway. You know what I mean? Like if I really like Subway, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
when Subway said kids eat free here, I thought that
I wouldn't
they weren't
think,
ready for that.
oh,
Okay.
eating at Subway is going to make people think I am a pedophile. It would that I would never have
I'm
done.
sure pedophiles eat at Subway, but I'm
Sure.
sure they eat at a lot of places. They're human, they got to eat too. So
But like I can't think there's no example like this because like look, I
in such a
I
dumb way, in such a
yeah,
dumb, not even like in a, oh, you made a bad product and it hurt the brand, but we'll fix it and we'll get back. You know what I mean? No, this is like the head of the company turned into a full on, or was exposed at least as a
yeah,
full on Nazi right wing fascist who fucking did two sea cows.
yeah.
He didn't wave hello. Fucking did sea cows. That was one thing. And then Trump lets him do whatever the fuck he wants, and he gutted people,
He's
lose their
joking
jobs.
about people losing their jobs.
Yeah,
He's laughing about it.
yeah.
Um,
This
I
fucking
I
billionaire ghoul South
look,
African douchebag.
I am the target market for electric cars. You know what I mean? Like that, if you're thinking like who is in the mood to buy like a moderately priced electric car? It's me. I care about the environment. I
Yeah.
like technology.
And you're being turned off.
Yeah, I will never buy a Tesla. I will
And the funny
never
thing,
ever
dude,
buy a Tesla.
but the funniest thing about this is like, okay, so now, so there's been these protests, and I guess somebody burnt one down. Who knows? It doesn't even matter. And I
Yeah,
love it though. Elon Musk is like, again, he should just shut the fuck up forever and disappear, honestly.
right.
But he's saying Democrats are burning down Teslas. It's like, and then even
Here's a
Sean
here's a
Hannity, did you
here's
see
a
that clips of that Sean Hannity interview?
yeah,
And Sean Hannity's like defending Tesla, which is hysterical because it's like Sean Hannity would shit on Teslas. He would shit
yeah,
on electric cars because he's a shill for the oil company.
yeah.
Donald
It's
Trump. So hold on. Like when he did his presidential address, like when the beginning of the month,
yeah,
he was shitting on electric cars during that.
yeah. It is it's such a bizarre series of choices by Musk. But I would like look, even if Tesla got rid of Musk tomorrow, I would still not buy a Tesla because I wouldn't want people to think I had a Tesla when Musk did run Tesla.
I just think, from what I hear, it's not a good product, actually.
I have no, that's the other thing. Let's say they made a great product tomorrow. I wouldn't buy it. I'm not
Cheers.
gonna, I'm not, the people make comparable products, you know. I have a electric
Okay, but I have a
hybrid.
question. I
Yeah.
have a question. You still like the Smiths? That guy's a fucking fascist. Outright.
Um,
Outright
y-
fascist. He outright supports fascist
yeah, but
movement.
that's like the guy from Metallica likes Trump. I mean, like
I mean, they're not actively firing people and destroying the government in
well,
a,
I mean, yeah, but like neither's Morrissey. I mean, like if
I don't know. I think he was fully invested in the fascist movement in England
I
and
don't know. I
Metallica.
like
You're
I
like,
think
you're like, oh no, I can't, I got a little more
no, I mean like
see.
look, if you I think that's ultimately where you come with like music is like these are entertainers or
I'm
performers or whatever.
fucking with you.
Like I know, but I'm just saying like it's a valid point.
No, but
But
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I will not, like, if somebody's dead,
yeah,
someone comes from a different time.
yeah,
Like, their music was great, and you found out they were this, but they've been dead for like 20 years, and those things happened 50 years ago. Again, doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right at all. But it's like they're not out there talking.
yeah.
They're not out there doing shit. They're dead. They Yeah, that's Hitler's art was really good. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I look,
People complain about him, but everybody would like think back, just look at it as one of his paintings.
I always put like, and I always had like a hard time reconciling that because like a lot of the musicians I like are, but a decent number of them aren't like the best people, you know? Like
No, you find out horrible shit about all these people
I still
eventually.
like Public Image, the band Public
Oh yeah,
Image,
that guy. I mean,
and
he's a fuck. He's
he's a straight up, Trump
yeah, he's a right
supporter. I
wing.
mean,
He's
he
a
is.
Trumper. He's a
Um, but I
yeah,
still
he's
like
just such a
Public Image. If
contrarian.
Public Image came here, I'd probably see him. But the difference is, I'm not. Johnny Rotten's not in charge of the government or
Right.
whatever.
He's
You know what
not.
I mean?
Well,
Like,
that's the thing too. It's like Johnny Rotten wasn't put in as a consultant and
right?
that is like steamrolling the government and destroying it.
Yeah. So when I go like if I want to watch a movie on Netflix, I don't want to get in the position where I have to consult IMDb and then do a lot of homework to figure out if there's a right winger and I can't watch the movie. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
My whole thing is like, what are they doing? What are they actively doing? Like, I'm sorry. Like a good example is like Kid Rock. He's just fully in the
the
right wing grift. He's
yes.
fully in the right wing circle. Same thing. Ted Nugent, fully in the right wing circle.
Well, they're not even making new music
They
anymore,
are.
really.
That's the thing.
Oh,
Kid
they are.
Rock's constantly making music because you just
Is
don't
he?
know it because it's in like this right. Yeah, remember that one song when he did it with this other, like he did it with
Oh
this band,
yeah.
and they were like, "Hey, nobody gonna tell me what to do." So
I forgot about that.
and he'd be like, "No one gonna tell me what to do." Like, he sucks, dude. He always sucked. Kid Rock. The first time I saw him at the Warp Tour '98, I was like, "This guy fucking
Oh.
sucks. The only thing good about him is Josie, and that angel left us
Well,
like in the early 2000. That angel, he went
I
back
would
to heaven, Josie, to
little
to cuss
little heaven.
at an angel.
I differentiate. You're right. I differentiate between people who are like, look, who have had questionable uh uh views or who still have questionable
But
views.
again, none of these people. This is so egregious
Yeah.
what Musk has been doing and what
Th-
he's still doing.
those are apples and oranges, yeah, in
One of
my
the
opinion.
funniest things, did you see that? So the right wing's being told to support Tesla.
Yeah.
There's this great meme. It's like a caveman with a MAGA hat, and it said like I think I shared it somewhere, but like it says
Yeah.
like complaining about the price of eggs, but being told to but Trump, I can't afford
Yeah.
eggs, but Trump is telling me to go out and buy a
By
Tesla.
Tesla.
And he's
A
like
Tesla.
a confused caveman. He's like, like eggs are so expensive, but let's go out and buy an $80,000 car
Yeah.
that you have to pay to like, dude. I think the way that company fucking works, it's
Yeah.
almost like the way like a video game is with like where you have to pay
Oh,
in.
microtransactions. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do know that a lot of people buy their car insurance through Tesla. They have their own like in-service,
yeah,
uh,
that makes sense.
but they change your rates because they monitor your driving constantly. Like if you speed a lot, your next month's bill is going to be higher than if you didn't.
Oh
They
my God.
adjust
That's
your car insurance
that
rates.
that is that sounds awful. Do
Yeah.
anyone else do that?
No, but you can like anybody could sign up for like I forget what they call it, but like you plug a device into your car and you get a discount if you are a safe driver.
But
Um,
you have no control over this with Tesla.
you don't have you have that choice. Um,
That's
it
fucking
yeah.
bullshit. That's
Uh,
straight up fucking bullshit.
yeah, I'll tell you, I did that like when I lived in Florida. I bought one of those. I bought an insurance plan that had one of those things. You plug in the device into your like under your steering wheel or whatever. And I actually thought it was kind of useful. I'm actually a pretty decent driver, but it told me like a few times like you braked too hard, or it kind of gives you like a report card at the
I
end of the
think it would
week.
just that would just fuck with me. Like I have enough time. Like I think it would ruin my driving. I think
Yeah,
I
it
would get
could.
worse.
Yeah,
I think I would get worse actually. I think I
I
would
think
get
some
so.
people do. Yeah.
You ever you know what I do? You
Oh.
ever like drive and there's a cop behind you?
Yeah.
I will immediately go into a gas station or something. I don't fucking no, fuck you, dude. You're not gonna be behind me for
I
like if
hate that
I
shit.
like do
Yeah.
one thing. What?
I hate that shit. Yeah, I
Oh,
will
that's the
too.
worst. When there's a cop behind me, I'm almost like, oh shit.
If they are following me for longer than I want them to, I'll pull over and say, like, look, let's get this over with. If you're gonna if
Let's fight like men. Let's fight like real men.
no, but like then they usually go on their way. But like
I'm not gonna get out and say that. I
yeah.
would literally no. I'll just turn into like any parking lot or turn on to a
Yeah,
street.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
drive away, like go away, bye bye, and then I'll wait a minute.
Yeah,
No, it
that
sounds
kind
like
of
I'm
it.
so. I feel like I'm like, did I do something wrong? It just nah, because these motherfuckers, like most
Yeah.
of them, are like waiting for you to just do one slightly thing, and they're
Yeah.
gonna give you a fucking ticket.
Well, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Oh, anyway, um, I, I, I I don't see where Tesla rebounds from this. I mean,
I don't know how they will. I don't even. I again, I cannot believe that we're at this point. I can still not believe that this fucking guy has not been removed from the company as
well,
the head, as the fucking like. I don't get it. I
they've lost a ton of money, and the even more troubling. Here's the other thing is like other like the car sales are tanking in the U.S., but they're like devastatingly low in Europe now. No one in Europe is buying a Tesla, and China and Korea are making electric cars that are really
yeah, they
good
don't
and
need.
really
There's an
cheap.
electric car. That was like the joke. There was like a clone of some kind of the Cybertruck, but it actually looked like a normal car and it
Yeah.
actually like looked really good and it was functional. You can't buy it here. You can't get they will make sure Trump will make sure you can't buy any of these cars here.
Well, you can buy like a Nissan Leaf for like 15 grand. You can buy a Honda Civic electric for like 20. I mean, you can buy these.
Is that low? I don't think it. No way.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
15 grand?
Well, like list for 21, but you get a $7,000 tax credit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I mean,
Did Trump do away with that? Which would be ironic. He's telling people.
yes, but like they're still there for a year or two or whatever. Like,
I can't stand this fucking right wing culture bullshit.
yeah,
It constantly changes. I'm telling you, at some point, they're gonna get these motherfuckers to be wearing dresses. They're gonna like right wing
yeah,
MAGA people are gonna be wearing dresses at some point. It'll be like a joke because like they'll say like real men wear dresses or something, and like they
yeah.
will. They'll wear it. It's bizarre. It's just like evolving, devolving culture. And the fact
Well,
that like Tesla got lumped into it because Elon Musk is a fucking idiot. I love too that this guy was considered like the modern day Einstein.
yeah,
And then more he talked, people realize this guy's dumb as fuck because experts
eh,
would come out and say that this guy doesn't know anything he's talking about. He'd
yeah,
go on Joe Rogan, he'd talk like all smart, and Rogan's just like a paid propagandist. I'm so sick of people saying like, "Oh, Rogan's dumb, he's just going along with it." No, Rogan's a fucking actor, and he is paid to
yeah,
fucking kiss these people's asses to play dumb. Because if you're telling me he's dumb, you're saying that he has agency. He has no fucking agency here. He is a fucking tool. He's a fucking tool for the billionaires. All these
yeah.
comedians. I saw a clip of like Theo Vaughn and Andrew Schultz, these
Oh
edgy
yeah,
fucking comedians, and they're like kissing Elon Musk's ass. I'd be like, if I was any of these fans of these people, I'd be like, dude, these guys suck. Like they're basically like they're supposed to be edgy, but they're fascist bootlickers.
yeah.
Like
It is strange. I mean, like
might as well watch Sean Hannity at that point.
the whole economy is in like this really bad state right now too, which is not going to help
Which
Tesla.
is brought upon by fucking Elon Musk and
Yeah.
Trump.
Well,
I mean, that's the funniest thing too. You got Elon Musk like crying about like, oh, they're hurting this company or whatever. You know, Tesla doesn't do anything wrong. Don't take
yeah,
out
don't take it out on
me
poor
on them.
Tesla.
What?
Yeah, don't take it out on poor
Oh, okay,
Tesla.
but what about all the
Yeah,
people who lost their fucking jobs because you fucking asshole?
yeah.
Like they fired like I mean, I think a lot of these people are gonna get their jobs back because like
Doesn't matter though. Like, imagine like you got a mortgage, you got kids to feed,
oh
and
yeah,
you don't have a
that's
paycheck
you
for eight
probably lost
weeks.
a month's pay. You're fucked.
Your car, you could get repoed.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
knows? I
I
mean,
mean,
like
most of America
it's just very stressful too. I mean,
is one
these
check
are
away
people.
from losing everything.
Yeah, these are people. Like I don't know. It's real sad and grotesque, but I hope Tesla goes to I hope Tesla goes bankrupt because of this. I do. I mean, look, I'm a big supporter of electric cars or hybrid
I want
cars or
that.
whatever, but
I want them to kick him the fuck out, and then they can try to do whatever they need to do to fucking. I'll never buy a pro. I mean, unfortunately,
no.
I have fucking this house I bought
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
has solar
Tesla.
panels, but the
Yeah,
company was not the
plenty
woman who
of
owned the house.
liberals.
It wasn't Tesla. It wasn't Tesla yet. They bought that solar panel company.
Uh, well, plenty of liberals bought Teslas years ago.
No, but I'm saying like it wasn't even.
I know. I'm just saying that there are plenty of
It was
people.
like I said, he's in a big part of that documentary who built the
Elvira
electric
had a Tesla.
Elvira. No, it
Elvira.
was her Audi. What's her name?
Cassandra
Andrew
something.
Peterson. Yeah,
Yeah.
her Audi was the one who destroyed it. Elvira would probably. No, I think even Elvira would be like,
Right. Yeah.
he's a little too ghoulish for me.
Elvira does one of those anything. Your Audi drives a Tesla. You're just...
And she's like my boobs. What
Well,
was it on Simpsons?
oh
Booberella
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
So
no, but I
the
mean, like again, it's like nothing makes sense anymore. If you told me 10 years ago that Elon Musk would become this like full-on fascy right
yeah,
winger who's fucking Sikh heiling,
very weird.
and like after watching like who killed the electric car like back in 2004 or two, I think it was like I think it came out in 2003. It was during the early Bush years, and I think he's in it. I'm pretty sure he's in that one, and the company Tesla.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And again, another thing people need to fucking realize. he is only as big as he is because of the fucking government.
Oh yeah, it's like
The
almost all
government
government
subsidies.
contracts. Yeah,
Yeah.
and subsidies. Yeah.
Same thing with fucking Bezos.
Mm.
The only reason why Bezos was big is because they didn't have to pay fucking sales tax. They didn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah. Mm.
People were buying shit. They're like, wait, I don't know. I could just buy stuff. I remember like I bought my PlayStation 3 from Amazon back in the day because it was like
Oh yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
under $300. And I'm like, okay, so if I go to Best Buy, I gotta pay like $40 in
Right.
sales tax. I could buy
Yeah.
it from Amazon and just here you go.
Mm.
I was able to get an extra controller because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. But or a free game or something,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like basically the consistent. Whatever. I mean, listen, that's let's pay my sales tax. No, I
No,
mean
fuck
like
that.
I'm looking for a deal. It's like they're fucking expensive. So yeah.
Well, right now the economy is at a point they're talking about like stagflation now, where what they predict will happen and continue to happen is inflation will go up, prices will go up, and unemployment will go down. I mean, employment will go down.
Well, yeah, of
Like
course.
fewer people have jobs.
See,
It's
the
going to
fucked up thing,
be
I think people need to wake up and realize whenever they hear the term recession, they should
yeah,
really start fucking protesting.
right.
Because recessions are designed. Why do recessions keep happening under Republicans?
Yeah,
It seems like we're always under recession. A fucking Republican gets into power and recessions happen. Why is that? Oh, I don't know. Well, let's see. What happens when there's a recession? Well, one, you could kill unions easier.
yep,
Oh, they're
yeah,
tough. You guys are arguing. This is not the right time to do this. Let's see. Stocks go down. Uh,
yep,
and the people who will be rich with a recession or out of recession get to go back and buy those stocks up for fucking cheap.
yeah,
Real estate goes down. Trump fucking said it in 2016 when he was running for fucking president. He said it at rallies. He loves recessions.
yeah.
He said I could buy up everything for cheap. The crowd's
Oh,
like,
that's
boo, fucking morons, because they don't have the brain capacity. Is like this fucking guy is telling you that
yeah.
his
He's giving away the game.
business goal is telling you. No, you know what it is? Because it's like a trick. He's making them feel like they're in the inside of this. Like, oh yeah, we get to hang out with them, it's like, no, you dumb fuck. You're not gonna be invited to shit in his gold toilet. Like,
Yeah.
what do you look
This is I'm looking at the list of recessions
they
and
mostly happened under fucking and if there was a recession, if it happened during a Democrat, it's because it was the tail end of a fucking Republican president like Obama had.
yeah, yeah. It is weird. Like there's like an eerie amount. I mean, aside from Carter, yeah,
Yeah. It happened under Bush, the first Bush. It happened under the
right.
second Bush. I feel like it's designed to happen. I think it's a scam. I think like these things are meant to fucking stifle
Yeah,
labor, stifle salaries, stifle expectation.
that's crazy.
It's
Well,
bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And these rich fucks get richer during.
yeah.
They can buy up things, and when things start spiking up, then they have everything.
Yeah, well, it is true. Like I know that. I mean, look, I don't buy a lot of stock or whatever. I'm not trying to make myself out that way. But every time I get paid, I buy a small amount of stock, and I've just done that consistently, and it's a habit I got into a while ago. And the
I haven't looked
stock
at the stocks I bought. I'm sure they all cratered.
they're all cratering right now. But if you just keep buying them, they go back up. I mean, like
Not sure on everything.
it's not true on everything, but like, look, if you're generally buying smart decisions, like there are some risky ones, but like, for the most part, you can assume that
Yeah, Reddit
Walmart's,
stunk.
yeah, but that'll,
Reddit went down like $10.
all of them have gone down.
No,
Well,
Walmart's the least.
yeah, but
Makes
like,
sense though. Walmart sells everything, so
and
people
also like, when are you shopping at Walmart
Dude,
when you have
Disney.
less money?
So I own a little bit of stock of these things: Walmart, AT&T, Warner Brothers Discovery, Reddit, and Disney. Disney has been the
Budget
worst.
Disney's down like 5% or
It's been
something.
down. Like
I have some
I haven't
Disney
looked in a
too.
while. Then I bought some Reddit stuff a while ago. Do you think the Reddit will go back up? I'm not
Yeah, I
buying
do.
anymore.
Oh no, I think Reddit will go up. I Reddit skyrocketed in the short term. I think here's what like a really smart person would have done, not me, is you buy a bunch of Reddit and then sell it. Because like you
Oh,
would have
when
made
it
a
was
ton.
peaked,
Yeah, you would have made a ton of money. But I think Reddit's got a
if you
long-term
bought it at
future.
a really low when it was like $1.
It was like nothing when I bought it. I mean, it was like very little. And then it went up a whole bunch. I mean, there's what at one point my investment was up like 250%.
Oh wow!
I mean, it was like a grip of money.
I found a
Um,
comic in the dollar bin and I sold it for almost $100.
well, that's like a
That's a
thousand
good
percent.
markup, right?
Yeah, that's well, but you're right.
But
Like this
eBay
is the
eats it up.
time when people buy houses that are being foreclosed on. When
But the
people,
people who do that are the ones that will be okay if
yeah,
it's a recession or not.
they're
These are
okay
very
anyway.
rich
Yeah,
people. They could play with money.
right.
They lose something
Yeah.
here, they'll make something there. Most people
So
can't play with money. Most people can't afford anything. They can only afford. And I just think like I'm sick and tired of hearing this shit. It's like every time there's a Republican president, there's a recession. And
yeah,
I see that all the fucking time. I
there's a
knew that.
recession and
I
the
said,
budget goes out of control.
yeah, yeah, all of a sudden the debt ceiling's not an issue anymore.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
an issue when the Democrats are in. Oh my God, that debt ceiling, oh, it's out of control.
hmm
And then the Republican gets in, and it's like fucking quadrupled, and they're like,
Right.
no, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And like everybody's quiet about it.
Well, who's not quiet? We got GOP and Democratic town halls going on.
Well, the GOP ones are funny because I
GOP
think
ones are hilarious.
again, all these Republicans are arrogant as fuck because they think that they can get away with the shit that Trump gets away with because they could escape on right wing media that will
Yeah.
protect them. And then they go to these things and they think that like people are cool, like, and that's why I don't trust people though, because like they're angry now, but like, okay, when election time comes and the Republicans start pushing some culture war shit, are you gonna fall for that shit again? You probably
Well,
will. These
I'll
dipshits will
tell
always
you,
fall for it.
I'll tell you this. I think it's going to get real bad economically for some people. And I
I,
think that I don't think that the hey, look over there, a kid using a litter box
I don't
trick is
know,
gonna
man.
well, look, maybe it will.
I
But
don't know. I also think like it could just be that we don't have fair elections anymore.
that could be too, but like I I'm calling pause on this. Like the midterms are gonna be I mean, I get tired of saying this, but like the most important election.
I
But
mean,
the mid
I think if the Dems don't take back the House
right,
or
then
get the
it's
seats in
over.
the Senate, it's game over.
Yeah.
I really do believe that it's game over once Trump got back in. There was all
I
these things that were going to happen under Kamala, and these people were so fucking stupid.
yeah, I don't disagree with you.
People were gonna get like $25,000 if they bought a house or something crazy,
Yeah.
like a government check or
Yep.
whatever, or like a refund or whatever it is they do. Kind of like what you said with the if you bought an electric car.
Yeah. You get a tax rebate, a
Yeah,
tax refund.
like
Yeah.
people were gonna get like a $25,000 tax rebate.
Right.
She was gonna expand Medicaid so that elderly people would be able to afford assisted living, which
Yeah.
is
And
most people can't
Trump
afford.
has like pared away that he got rid of telehealth. Got rid of, I mean, like,
And they
um,
want to privatize everything.
well, if yeah, I think if the Democrats take back the House, then we got a shot. And I think if they don't win big in the midterms, it is over. And I think honestly, like I mean this, like then the Democratic Party's over. Like
Oh,
someone
I
will
think I honestly think the Democratic Party is like running on some. I think that if they really want to survive this,
yeah.
what did Schumer say? Were you the one who told me this, or maybe I was talking to my dad about this? What Schumer basically, so a lot of people were really pissed at Schumer because he
Yeah.
kind of folded in the Senate, but I guess what he said was, if I didn't vote for this, all these things would have been taken away. All these things that he is trying to protect in this budget would have been
Oh, I follow you.
that the Republicans would have just killed all these things.
But
And
they wouldn't have been able to pass anything. Like if the
that's
Democrats
another
just
thing, though. Like
stuck
so
together, like
it's a shit excuse too, because it's like, no, you need to do what Republicans do when a Democrat's in power,
yeah,
and you need to just be a fucking thorn on the side,
that's yeah,
and instead you're getting caught having a picture taken through a window of you like goofing off with Trump, like your buddies.
yeah. What needs to have happened is they vote no, and then and then the Republicans say, "Well, we're taking away some things," and you say, "Well, we're going to still vote no. We're going to still vote no until we get more things than we want."
We're gonna tell everybody that you are voting that you
Yeah,
took away these things. Like the Republicans are the reason why you don't have this, and this. If you're wondering why egg prices are now $12 when Trump says he was going to lower it, don't you think that's weird? It's
yeah.
weird. How is that Biden's fault?
And that's I've thought about this a lot. Like I was talking on Reddit today, and the
Three kids
Democrats
in a
just
trench coat.
yeah, the Democrats just need to get like angrier and meaner.
They need they need Chuck Schumer does not meet the times, and I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is a good. I don't think he's a good. I mean, who knows? Maybe if he does get to be Speaker of the House, maybe he'll be better. But I don't think so. I don't think.
Well,
I think he. I think there's a reason why he was chosen by Nancy Pelosi.
mhm.
I always thought. I mean, I
Well,
don't know.
Pelosi got shit done. I'll tell you
There's a
that.
lot of there's a lot of great people. Like people will shit on Democrats, but there are really good people out there. But the ones that are like the insiders, the ones that are like the more corporate end,
Yeah.
they're shit. And unfortunately, they're going to be the ones that are going to have access to leadership more, at leadership positions more. And I don't know. I just think that like, that belief too, like we missed that opportunity. The opportunity was to get Kamala in
Yeah. Yeah.
so that you keep going forward.
Right. Yeah.
There
Even if
might
it's
be
just
some hiccups
incremental.
and they'll come up with some excuses or whatever, but there wouldn't be, like I said, there would be no equivalent to Doge. That Doge wouldn't even be a thing.
Right.
Then we wouldn't even talking about that. We'd be talking about like, I mean, the thing is though, we'd be talking about the budget, and all the Republicans would be like, "Yeah, we're going to shut the fucking country down."
Well, I mean, look, I don't. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to immediately acknowledge that I don't really believe this. I a
Yeah.
million percent in no world whatsoever do I think it was good that Trump won. I wanted Harris to win. She should have won. But however, if Harris won, here's my silver lining counter argument. If Harris had won, we would have had to deal with another 4 years of Republicans constant attack, constant.
I mean,
it
I'd
would
rather
never
have
would have
that.
ended.
I'd rather have that.
Yes, no, I agree.
It would
I
be
agree.
it would be the Kamala.
I agree.
First of all, she's not Biden. She's younger. Probably would have younger people on her staff too, and I think they would combat the Republicans more than
But
Biden would have.
maybe,
And Tim Walz, if he wasn't, even though he probably would have been shackled, they would have
but
fucking.
all those people that turned their back on their values to vote for Trump, the Venezuelans in Miami, the Muslims in Michigan, the farmers in Nebraska, all of those, they're all getting fucked up. They're all getting fucked up. People in those Venezuelan immigrants, all their loved ones that weren't properly documented are being like shipped to prisons in El Salvador.
Yeah.
And the Muslims in Detroit are just sitting there watching their loved ones in Palestine be like bombed into oblivion.
Again, if Kamala won, would it solve the Palestinian problem? I would say
wouldn't have made it
not
worse.
not as much as we want, but you wouldn't have Kamala going on there and saying like,
Right.
I'm gonna wipe it out and put hotels up. And if anybody's still alive, they can come and they could come in. Hope maybe
They can
we'll
work
give them a
there.
job.
Yeah.
We'll give them a slave wage.
The farmers in Nebraska or Iowa wouldn't be figuring out what to do with 80 metric tons of rotting soybeans.
Again, though, I just think like also though,
Maybe,
These people, when a Democrat's in power, it's easier for the Republicans to trick people into culture war shit.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It's gonna keep happening. People will wake up a bit and they'll realize and they'll vote for the next Democrat, hopefully.
Well,
And
they
then
need
the
to.
cycle will repeat. They'll fall for right-wing bullshit again.
Then
It's
the next
unavoidable.
Democrat who runs, and it shouldn't be fucking Gavin Newsom.
No,
The
fuck that
next
guy.
Democrat that runs, when a Republican says something about a the Democrat needs to just go, shut the fuck up. Look at what
Yeah,
you did.
seriously.
Look at
No
what
one
you
cares.
did.
Like, can you
No one
stop
gives a
bullying? Can you
fuck.
not bully these people
Yeah.
for a minute and just focus on the real problems?
Yeah. No, or don't even say that. Just tell them
No,
shut
I would.
fucking
I would say
shut
you're just.
up.
I don't know.
Shut.
I would say like you don't even have anything to offer anybody except bullying.
Yeah.
No, bring it up. Like you offer nobody anything. I'm talking about bringing, jobs and whatever,
Yeah.
programs that'll help
Right.
people. And you're sitting here, you don't want any of that, and you want to bully a child.
Yeah.
You fucking
You
creep.
bring the dumbest people alive into government. You bankrupt millions.
Yeah.
You grift and steal and joke around and
I just
bully.
don't think we're gonna get that
There's
moment.
there is someone out there that'll do
I
that.
think it could be Tim Walz. I truly
I do
believe
too.
that Tim
Yeah.
Walz will be that guy. But I don't think he'll get the play on them. He will not get the play. Remember, Trump Trump is what the corporate elite want. They
Yeah.
love him. He's a distraction and a
Well,
rubber stamp.
I still believe that, but like you
I just
the
don't.
the the
Tim Walz can make an appearance. The head of CNN is not going to. The head of CNN is not going to air
well
an empty podium for an hour for Tim
that
Walz.
is, but like
That'll never happen.
no, but and a Democrat will never get a fair shake on any current media platform. They
No.
need to go on a place like TikTok, but like I'll tell you, the first time a Democrat gets traction on TikTok, Trump will ban it. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah. If something happens again where like the kids like punked him, I mean
yeah,
I don't think people realize like they forget. It's like his real rage at TikTok started in 2020 when
yeah,
he was punked by kids on TikTok, and his rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma was a disappointment
yeah.
because they paid to have like overflow. And they didn't need any of that. They didn't use any. That douchebag grifter, that big doof who was like his
Yeah,
IT guy or whatever that became his campaign manager.
yeah.
Remember, he got tackled by cops. I don't remember what that was for, but that was really funny.
That was
I think he
funny.
was like drunk, just a big dumb doof who like knows some computer shit, some fucking libertarian
Yeah.
asshole. I know people like that. Fuck those people. And he's like, look, Trump, you're gonna have 1 million people at the rally. And he's of course this egomaniac and
Yeah.
like, that's right, they love me. And then he gets there and it's like 10,000 dumbasses and fucking -1 because he died Herman Cain.
Right.
But he didn't shut the fuck up about TikTok after that. It's all
Yeah.
he cared about. People are like, oh, it's because of China. No, it's because he got humiliated. There's this. You remember that picture of him getting off the helicopter and he
Yeah.
got to the White House, and he's so sad.
Big gloppy mess. Yeah.
He's just like he's
Like
never been
someone.
sadder. That's all he cares about. He didn't give a fuck about. I mean, remember when he was arguing with Zelensky a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and he's like, "This is gonna be great television."
Yeah.
It's like a joke. He's right. It was great television, but it's a joke.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see. I
I
mean, like, look, there's a lot of people that voted for Trump
well,
that
you're
are
right.
getting.
I agree. If something happens on TikTok again that works against him,
Yeah.
yeah,
He'll
you'll
ban
talk.
it. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the right wing will be very anti-TikTok
Well,
again.
all of the right wing's moves over the last, I don't know, year or so have been to destroy progressives' access to the media. It really has. I mean, Bezos, Trump, the RNC immediately put the lien on every newspaper.
Yeah,
They started defamation lawsuits. I mean, it was like,
yeah. Trump
and
suing,
Trump,
and the networks caving and actually paying him.
yeah.
He's asking
So,
for He said that 60 Minutes was easy on Kamala. I was like, I watched that 60 Minutes. I don't
Yeah,
know what
it's
the fuck he's
bullshit.
talking about. I don't think that 60-minute interview helped Kamala at all. I think it
No,
sucked. The fuck is, and they paid
but
10 million bucks. How's
yeah.
that not fucking illegal?
Well,
What?
I
Imagine
I
imagine Joe Biden like, I don't like what you did. I'm gonna sue you for 10 million. People would like lose their fucking minds because it's Trump. They're like, it seems like something he would do.
well, some Democrat needs to get angry and focused. Maybe it's Tim Walz, maybe it's not. I like Tim Walz a lot, but I do agree that
I think what I like about Tim Walz is that it should he you if he gets loud enough and people like him and he does speaks out more and more and keeps speaking out more, he will set a standard.
yes,
And as
yeah, right.
Gavin Newsom caters to the right wing and agrees with them and pushes them, then it'll make him look like a fucking idiot, and people will be like, but I'm sorry, I really do believe they'll end up just being Gavin Newsom in the end. I just think
I
like
don't think so. I
yeah, I don't maybe yeah maybe I don't know. Um, it just wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me one bit if he ended up being
yeah.
like, yeah. I just
We'll
feel
see.
like
I think we're gonna have
next
to see
line to
how
leave.
bad it gets and what about it gets bad. You know what I mean? Like, is it gonna be? Are we gonna have like? Is the measles outbreak gonna accelerate?
That's insane.
Is
That measles thing is. I
yeah,
mean, like I don't. I'm like, are we gonna even be like? What's the? I can't even imagine what a year from now is gonna be.
right.
I mean, I have shit
Is
going on in my life right now, so I don't know what a year from now is gonna be. But I'm talking about in the country. I don't know. Is it gonna be recognizable?
well, that's the thing. Is like, will it be a measles outbreak? Will we have uh without FDA inspectors? Are we gonna have like 8,000 people die of like a
E.
listeria
coli.
outbreak? Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Are we gonna have
Fucking Bluebell, man. Fucking killed
right?
like 10 people and people I love Texas. Everybody it's like Bluebell is like a certain products in Texas like a fucking religion to people.
Yeah.
They'll talk about Jesus and shit like that, but no fucking way. They don't give a fuck about Jesus. They care about Dr. Pepper, Bluebell, and I don't know, fucking football.
Bucky's, Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
and then like Bluebell literally killed people. It was off the market for like, I don't know, a couple months.
yeah,
And then when they brought it back to market, people waited outside
yeah.
crowds outside supermarkets before it opened to get their Bluebell again.
Are we gonna
It
see
killed people. What?
a hurricane
Need
hit
that
like a big city in Florida?
what?
Are we gonna see a hurricane hit a big city in
And
Florida?
just completely level it
Are
to
we
the
gonna
point where it's
see, yeah,
unrecoverable.
are we gonna see and no FEMA coming in?
Yeah.
Are we gonna see like a terrorist attack? Are we
Oh,
gonna
I can
what
imagine that will happen.
who knows what'll happen?
But I'll be like,
Power out something will happen and there won't be a
yeah,
functioning
a
government
massive.
to
Oh,
fix
I
it.
could see a massive power out where like the whole East
Yeah.
Coast is out of power for a week.
So that'll be the thing is like whatever big crisis is happening, maybe it's just unemployment, but that's the Democrat that's going to win the primary. I think is it going to be a jobs person? Is it going to be a health person? Is it going to be a who
I
knows what it's going to
mean,
be? Is it
Gavin
going to be
Newsom telling people that Steve Bannon has similar beliefs to us, like when it comes to the working class.
he's a zero? Fuck that guy.
First of all, Steve Bannon doesn't give a fuck about the working class
No,
because if he did, he'd be criticizing Trump and Musk right now.
yeah.
And he's not. He's, if anything, he's applauding them. So fuck that piece of that
But if it's like
bloated carcass that's somehow still alive. Fuck
if
that
it's
guy.
a military thing, it'll be someone like
Literal Oogie
Kelly.
Boogie.
It'll be like Kelly from Arizona, or if it's who
Fuck
knows?
hell
Like
yeah. No, I'm not one
I'm
that
just
guy.
saying, like it's an example.
We need a fucking AOC type.
Yeah,
I want a fucking loud. I want someone who I see Walls. See, here's the thing about Walls. This is why I think he's great. Because he could out Trump.
yeah,
He could make fun of people
yep,
and be actually fucking clever about it.
yeah,
He was telling people he was making jokes about how to take the emblem off your Tesla and pretend it's a Honda.
yeah,
Like you just need some dental floss. I'll come right off the emblem.
yeah.
I mean, he's like fucking around, but like
Yeah,
I really do believe that that's what I meant. The Democrats, it's like they didn't want to be in power. They really didn't. They didn't want to be in power. They muzzled Tim Walz. Dude, when they picked that fucking guy that first week,
that was electric.
it was like Trump is done. Trump, isn't that weird? He didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Because he's
just
a
called
fucking
weird.
weirdo.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's a fucking bully, dude. Bullies are easy to take down. Once you just gotta find their weakness. And when you find a bully's weakness, they crumble.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking bitches in the end. They're bullying you because they have no fucking what's the word? Like there's something fucking wrong with them inside.
Yeah, they don't have a positive self-image. They have no self-respect.
There's something wrong with them. That is, I mean, there are
secretly
some
loathe
sickos
themselves.
that are like have no issues and they bully people. There are people
Sure.
like that, but most bullies usually are like there's something
Yeah.
wrong. They're either abused by their parent. It's like something fucked
Yeah,
up.
always something basic.
But like the fact that you were able to like Trump didn't know what to do. And you just called him weird. He's like, these guys are weird. And Trump's like, I'm weird.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not weird. Jacking off to ghosts. You know, I have a joke I was actually gonna do. And I was thinking about this. Like my jokes would be like, I think in 5 to 10 years, people are gonna realize that Donald Trump was our first gay president. I really do believe that. Now, people will be like, wait, how can Donald Trump be gay? He's surrounded by women, he pays prostitutes. Yeah, but like, look at all the women he's been with. Like, or he wants to surround himself with. A good example, Kristi Noem. Look at her 10 years ago. Look at her now. She looks like a fucking drag queen.
Yeah. They all, yeah.
Donald Trump's a little zesty.
Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace, too. Dude, did you see? Okay, so Walton Goggins played a trans woman in that biker show. I never watched that show. The biker show with Ron Perlman, the motorcycle gang.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Sons
Walton
of
Goggins
Anarchy.
played a trans woman in that show.
Okay, yeah.
And somebody posted a picture of him with the dress and like the big fake boobs that he did, like this prosthetics. And they're gonna say, I'm gonna tell everybody this is Nancy Mace. And then you see the fucking picture.
Wow. I gotta look that up. Yeah.
Him and Nancy Mace. It was fucking funny. I'll send it to you.
That's funny.
I was laughing. I saw that. I was like, God, like shit. He looks better than she does now. She
right,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. She went
wrecked. Yeah.
She went nuts. No, I'm telling you, like Donald Trump's the first gay president. He doesn't really like women. Nah, he's like they're trophies. And like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't like anybody. But like, let's see, his mentor was Roy Cohn.
Yep.
He spent the last third of the campaign talking about Arnold Palmer's a giant dong.
That's true.
It's a weird thing for anyone to talk. That's a strange thing for a candidate to talk about. Like, let me tell you, it was so big and juicy. He'd swing it around, hit people in the face.
Such girth.
Sorry. What?
Such girth.
Such length and girth. Just the way Donald likes it. Nah, and he's up there. And what music is he listening to?
It's always, it is.
Fucking
it's Village
Village
People. Always
People.
the gayest music, yeah.
It's literally the gayest band that ever. I mean, it wasn't just gay because people were like, "Oh, that band's gay." No, it was designed.
Yeah, it was like bathhouse gay. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was. They were like, "We're gonna make a band, and it's gonna be gay as fuck, and every fucking Christian conservative is gonna be fucking singing those songs."
Yeah,
because they're dumb.
There you go.
So I'll tell you. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Donald Trump's gay, fine. But I would say, please don't hurt LGBTQ people.
Yeah, while you're at it, yeah. While you're flailing around in the closet.
While you're jacking off 2 ghosts on stage to the Village People. I'm telling you, one ghost, Roy Cohn, you're the ghost, Arnold Palmer. And you could tell because he pulls on that one a little longer.
Yeah.
Because that's the ghost of Arnold Palmer. Giant dong. Yeah. What do you think? Think that's funny? Think I could do that?
I do. I think that's real funny.
I think he's our first gay president. I know they say there's another president from the past.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I forget who. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. And then
everyone just said, for years, everyone said Lakin's gay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he was just a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
No, they said there's like letters. There's letters that he wrote.
I don't know. I haven't heard that. I don't doubt it, but I haven't heard that.
I don't care. It's just
Yeah.
funny. It's just funny if anything. But like, no, I truly believe Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
And if
Well,
not, it's
I
just
think
funny to say.
Lincoln was originally a Republican senator, so that
Who?
tracks.
But oh,
Lincoln,
Lincoln was a
Lincoln,
Republican senator at the
yeah,
airport in
for
Milwaukee.
Illinois, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he was the original wide stance. That's how Lincoln got shot, actually.
Right.
Yeah, his stance was too wide. And,
That's why he wore that tall hat, because when he put it in his lap, it was nice.
cover the boner.
Yeah, exactly. All right. All right.
Yeah, so I think Tim Walz. I'm glad he's speaking out. I'm glad he's even telling the fucking. He said that from what I saw, some of the clips I've been seeing is that he's been saying that like they fucking muzzled him. He had
Yeah.
no control. They they prevent him from going on fucking podcasts and shit.
Yeah. No, I heard that, and I think that sunk him. So
Like I said, I'm like, you had your greatest weapon,
yeah.
and then you muzzled him, and then you allowed the Republican propagandists to push lies about Tim Walz because you weren't letting him speak out. And then people started believing it, like, oh, that he cheated on his
Right.
military. They were spreading gay rumors about him,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
bullshit. Like, and like, I don't know. I really do believe, like, after watching this, I'm like, this was a give. This was a give.
Yeah.
Donald Trump should not have won a
No.
second. No, that makes no sense. This should have been, first of all, it should have been easy the first time in
Oh yeah.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. It was like Hillary's got this in the bag, and then he wins, and you're like, what the fuck? But I feel like this time is a bigger what the fuck.
Yeah, I do
The
too.
last time was kind of like just like a shock, really. I mean, we knew it
Yeah,
was gonna,
and he was an unknown. No one knew how bad he'd be. And we
I
suspected,
mean,
but
I knew
no
it was
one.
gonna be awful.
Yeah.
Because he was running as a Republican. It didn't matter who the Republican was gonna be, but he
Yeah.
was gonna be extra awful.
Mm.
Because he's a fucking horror show. But the second term Trump, after everything that's happened, COVID.
Well, the
fucking
insurrection. The
the
insurrection should have been
oh,
it.
the insurrection should have just been an
Everything else is like, but
well, the
the
COVID thing
insurrection.
should be.
Yeah, but like you could say, that was an odd situation.
Yeah,
Listen,
but he went out and he exasperated. He told people to go to
oh yeah,
church. He was
no,
calling
he
Trump
started
old.
out like trying to push through the vaccine, and that was a real good thing. But then the minute his psycho followers didn't like it, he turned his back on it and worked against it.
Yeah.
That's what made him a disaster. I mean, he could have been okay on that. If he had just like, we're going with the vaccine, we're going to give everyone the vaccine for free. A lot of that COVID stuff that worked happened under him. He just
The
immediately,
vaccine did not happen under him. The vaccine rollout happened under Biden. When Biden got in, the Biden team said that the Republicans did nothing. They had
oh
no
yeah,
they had
but
no rollout for the vaccine. The vaccine
yeah,
rollout happened under Biden administration.
yes.
There was
Well,
no they left them nothing. The vaccine rollout didn't happen until 2020 fuck, I don't even know what years are anymore.
yeah,
2021. Trump there were vaccines that got out, like
right.
some
Yes.
elderly
Okay.
people got in the end of the year.
I
There was
remember that. Yeah.
celebrities that got it. It was like ridiculous. It was like such
Yeah.
bullshit. It's
Wow.
like, I mean, I'm glad that fucking Ian McKellen got it, and fucking what's his face guy who plays Professor X to Picard. That's
Right.
his name, Picard. Picard played Professor X. I forgot his actual name, but
Yeah.
no, none of that shit happened. It is stated fact that when the Biden administration got in there, especially after everything happened, there was no court. Biden wasn't invited after he
Yeah.
won. No,
Yeah.
Trump's 3 months, and then they fucking had a violent coup. So the idea that he got back is insane. I still
Yeah.
will never. I think that is still the most fucking craziest thing ever.
Mm.
It's like, what's the word? Desensitizing? I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah. It's like someone's been desensitized to his craziness.
You're like, you can't expect anything good to happen now.
No.
And if it is good, you'll be like, all right, what's the angle here? No, seriously, like,
Yeah, no,
what's the hook here? What's the scam? What's going on? Who's getting fucked here? You know, like if they came out and said something like, "Oh, we're gonna be doing this, this, and this," it'd be like,
yeah.
"Yeah, like who are we bombing? We're gonna be in wars too. They're already starting a war with. They're gonna start a war with fucking Iran in a year. I guarantee it.
Mm.
Good
Well,
times.
good times.
Hopefully next. I hope the. You know what? I just hope the last episode of season 2 of
Yeah,
Severance.
me too.
We need that. Can we have that win?
Well, we'll see. We'll see
You know,
tomorrow.
this girl, when I was doing we'll wrap this up in a second. This girl, when I was doing the comedy thing this week, and said she did a whole thing about severance, about
Yeah.
like severing herself on a date. It was kind of funny. She's like, like she, like when a man explains something.
Oh, that's funny.
And the next comedian was making a joke about like explaining something to her.
Yeah.
And you went like this. To be severed, and I think there was a joke about being kind of severed for the next 4 years.
Yeah,
but she brought up a good point though, and said that it sounds like a good idea, but then she's gonna wake up and realize like, what did she say? She said something like someone be like knocking on the door of like a vault that she's been in because of the war.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Meaning like it's almost better to know what's gonna
Right.
happen because you can wake up in 4 years and it just be like a fucking
Yeah.
if you wake up you're like an apocalypse.
If you wake up, yeah.
Dude,
Oof.
I'm sorry. We've lived through an apocalypse already.
Yeah.
COVID was. Remember that fucking show? I'm gonna wrap this up right now. That fucking show that was so good. Was it called no? What was it? It was about the like 3% of the population.
Oh, The Leftovers. Yeah.
Leftovers. It was just 3%
Yeah.
population, which was crazy when you think about it. Like it's only 3%, but it was like a
It
million.
was a lot. Yeah.
That cult that had like the mannequins and the
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That was real crazy.
But
Yeah.
the thing is that COVID was kind of like that.
Yeah, in some ways.
He
Yeah.
lost millions of people around the world.
Yeah. Oof.
And it happened to him. I can't even imagine what. God.
All right.
I think we're just gonna. What's gonna happen is there's gonna be like a bad fucking fiddle faddle now, and everybody's gonna die from it, and it's called because of the RFK.
Yeah. Oof.
I put words in the fiddle faddle, so you could be like me. All right. Well, on that note, on that positive note.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still going about
that.
Thank you for listening to You Still Going On About That. Please like, comment, share, and if you haven't done already, please follow us on Instagram, YSGOAT, Facebook, YSGOAT, and Twitter, YSGOAT. Thank you, and have a great day.